And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC week number 143, your weekly dose of Sparkling Tuna Cup action. I'm Coach SIVIP with you, and joined by these amazing players and by the ByuN chat as well. Welcome one all here to our weekly open tournaments. Again, every single week we host this event. This is the longest running open tournament in all of SC2 and all of StarCraft, and we are here jumping into our first series of the broadcast. If you're in the chat, !B to link to the Wikipedia page, to the bracket itself, to have a look at the upcoming matches and what is to come. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of that washout, we have the pink Zerg player. We have the Zerg player from Colombia, papi. Oh my god. He either woke up early or stayed up late. It's ay, ay, ay. The pink Zerg player, it is Eggs. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg from the land of the UK. From the UK, representing the land of heroes. It is Eva. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open, and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we have our initial ZVZ. Would you have a plethora of players available here to us here this week? We have some heavy hitters as well, papi. We got players like herO, we got Classic, we got SHIN, we have ByuN, we have many others. We'll get there. When it comes to the upcoming matches. For now, though, we're going to be opening up pool first. Pool first here out of Eva, hatch first out of El Huevito, baby. So again, Eggs will go for the initial hatch. We'll go for a more economic start. Eva will go pool first. He will have a safer start instead. So Eggs will have that economic edge over his opponent. Bit of a risk, bit of a gamble. It's going to be hatch pool into a delayed gas geyser. So still relatively on the safe side of things here for Eggs, as we will be opening up into our early to mid game. From here, my eyes are going to be on Eva. Eva's gases are going to be much more delayed here, so we'll see kind of what tech we get into, how we take where we spend our gas, link speed or not, Baneliness or lot or not, or even walling off on two bases. We'll keep an eye on our Zerg players. Otherwise, again, bienvenidos all in the chats. Bienvenidos. CranKy, first of all, Classic round 2. I mean, there's going to be a lot of really good round 2 matches, of course. A lot of really good matches. We have our own series, and typically we follow one series into the next. We don't really hop around if we can avoid it. But there's a lot of really good potential, second round matches. For now, though. Now we are going to be dipping in, and again, it's going to be a clash of regions here. Latino America and Europe, we rarely see these two regions collide just because of their time zones. That's kind of why I made the joke earlier, how Eggs, he either stayed up incredibly late or he woke up very early. It's very rare to see Latin American players in our tournaments. Players like Eggs, players like Ryu, players like Jaime or Juanito or Chamaco. Again, it's a rare sight. It happens like maybe once a year sort of thing, but it's very rare to see a Latin American player here. So I'm curious to see how he compares to Eva. I would say that they're both relatively close in skill, but again, you rarely see these two regions clash. I rarely do see it. Eggs, he does dip out. But here, we mentioned earlier how there was a high chance that Eva would skip link speed, or what he would do with his gas, and he is skipping. So skipping link speed. With this, we can go for a faster layer. We can wall off on two bases and play two base Roach or two base Muta, but two base play is what Eva is going for. Eggs, on the flip side, does research link speed, and because he did go hatch first, it's more standard for a standard follow-up here out of Eggs. He will be gaining map control. He will maintain a greater economy with that faster third expansion, and Eggs, he will even skip his Baneliness, going straight for the Roach Warren. Very nice call here from Eggs. A Baneliness will not be useful to him, not in this kind of situation. Eggs even dips in, and behind this it is going to be lair first. Again, skipping link speed entirely, no banelings, lair first into either two base Roach or two base Muta. One of those two is going to be on the horizon here, and Eggs for the most part is fully aware. That's why he skipped his Baneliness. Personally, I would have preferred to skip link speed as well, but you can play Ling Roach Ravager and have Ling reinforcements. Like Lings, they can still have some value here in the mid game if it is going to be Roaches out of Eva. True. if it is. Meanwhile, as we get into this, a big shout to Captain Fish in the chat. God, baby, God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great, I'm assuming, ladder session. I'm assuming it was a ladder session. Regardless, thank you so much. And also a big shout out and thank you so much for the Twitch Prime as well. 15 months. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. As Lings, they will get a full surround. They do force a cancellation here of the third base. Again, the third base should never be taken here for Eva. That was very greedy from the blue Zerg player. Lings, they can get on top of the Roach Warren specifically and deny the Roach Warren. There it is. So this was a little bit inefficient. Eggs did waste some DPS on the Eva chamber, but regardless, I believe the Roach Warren, sorry, should go down and the upgrade should be denied. Ooh, clutch transfuse, but it's not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be enough. Massive pickup here. The Roach Warren does go down. The Queen almost falls as well. Roaches are now revealed, but again, that's a big delay here on Roach speed or Roach production. It means that Eggs has more time to drone, to prepare back at home, mass up Lings, mass up Roaches. Eba's build screamed 2 base all in, and now it is heavily delayed. Eba now drones. Now getting a third base, Eba's now droning up. Eggs is actually going for a counter all-in. The Overseer should confirm no drones, no saturation. Changeling dips in as well. And Eba, he is confirming just a lack of saturation and the upcoming Link Flood. Because here comes the all-in. Here comes the all-in. Now Eba has to race back. There we go. Wall of Spinacles on the way. Very nice scouting. Very nice read here out of Eba. Nice scout, nice reaction. Link's able to deny the third. But Eggs needs more than this, and so far he's trading well. Yeah, he's trading well. Better CranKy for Eggs. He's picking up more Roaches. Will deny +1. Massive pickup here. The upgrades, they just can't finish. They cannot finish. Not like this. El huevito, papi. He's here, and he should deny the rest of these upgrades. +1 carry base also going to be denied. Roach speed is now coming up on halfway done, and this time it will finish, and Eba is behind. He's lost his advantage. Remember, this is supposed to be an all-in here, hitting with upgrades. He has lost all of the upgrades. Big delay in the all-in, forced to re-expand, and behind this, went behind Spire. Right, this is a desperation move here by Eba, going for the Spire, going for the Mutas. We'll see if he can survive it long enough to actually make use of this Spire. Now, what will help him, though, is behind this, Eggs drones. Eggs, he's droning, he's saturating. Lair is now on the way for Eggs, so Eggs is backing off. Eggs is giving Eba a lot of time to breathe, and in that time, Eba, Mutas, they can recover. Like, Eba's in a rough position, but by no means is he out of this game. Not yet. Eba does have a win condition here. So, I streamed the game against herO was short and painful. No. Who for, papi? Who for? Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Este herO. As our Spire is now done, Muta production is on the way. Eggs should be hitting hard with Roach speed. You can see Eggs, it does cut works at 51, but Eggs was on a very low drone count. I am concerned that Eggs is giving Eba too much time. The Mutas, they will start to pick off Overlords. They will gain map control, that is true. But we'll see how many Mutas there are going to be. We'll see if they can stop the all-in. Because again, Eggs, he will hit with everything. He's going to hit with +1, hit with Roach speed. Eggs will soon pull the trigger. Massing out more army. Mutas have now hit the field. The Mutas are out. And now it's go time. Yeah, at this point, now it is go time. We got to send it. I would see Eba, he will focus fire the Ravagers. He will focus them all down. So all 3 Ravagers, they will fall. Lings are coming in from behind. Ideally, this hits at the same time. As Lings, they will get a Queen. Queen gets picked up, but we don't want to throw this away. Yeah, a lot of Lings are being thrown away. Roaches, they do get a better engage here at the natural. Eggs moving in, but ideally he wants to fight with everything at once. Yeah, so a little bit mistimed here, a little bit messy out of Eggs, but he will break into the natural. Yeah, breaks through the main army, gets into the natural base, getting into the mineral line as well. Drones are going to start going down. But does Eggs have enough? Oof, it's going to be close, but I believe he's getting drones. Gets into the main. Gets into the main base. Picks up more workers. We have Roach reinforcements hitting the third base. Kills every single Roach here. Oof. But again, we need some more economic damage. And with the rally, yeah, he should do it. Yeah, Eggs, he has done it. He has broken the main army here of Eba. Cleans up all the Lings. eBay behind this is droning. Oh, I say that. Never mind. eBay, he does hold on, only losing 13 drones. Mutas, they are now going to be moving out across the map. And Eggs, he has not dealt quite enough here. We do see how many mutas we have in total? 18. 18 mutas for eBay. It's a lot of mutas. Queens are amassing. We have transfuse. Oof, Spore's not finishing. Yeah, Spore's not finishing. Eggs, he needed more critical damage here. 18 drones was not good enough. Yeah, not good enough. Eggs will lose every single queen. And with that, eBay's done it. eBay has done it. Overwhelms every single queen. That's going to be 6 queens going down. Both spore crawlers. And there's no anti-air. There's no anti-air left. In a moment of desperation here, Eggs, he does go for another run-by, another counterattack. This does force eBay back home. I would say this is an overreaction out of eBay, as I believe he should... Yeah, eBay's fine. Like, eBay doesn't need the mutas. eBay's perfectly fine back at home. There we go. Turns back around. Getting another queen. There's no spore in the mineral line, by the way. There is no spore. And GG. GG. As eBay will take game number 1. Hey, GG will play eBay. He will take a lead in the series. Once again, Eggs, he did have momentum. He was denying upgrades. He was doing well for himself. But as we mentioned, Eggs was all in. Eggs was all in. He had to kill eBay. The moment that he got cleaned up, the moment that he failed to deal critical economic damage, that was game then and there. I will say that there's a world where if Eggs had lined up his roach push and his ling flank at the same time, if there was a better timing there, then he would have had a much more efficient fight at the third base. He would have retained more roaches and broken into the mineral line a lot faster as well. Would that have been enough to win the game? I can't say that for certain. I will say that more damage would have been done there, I feel, if they were able to work together and fight together. But it's possible that even then, like even killing like 25, even 30 drones might not have been enough, just because the muta count was quite high and eventually got across the map. GG. GG well played. With that, we're getting ready for game number 2. Let's go. No anti-air. Well, I mean, again, like that's why we mentioned that even though Evo was in a really rough place, mutas do allow you to, they give you a win condition. Like even if you're down 20 workers, like you can still win the game with mass muta, just because it takes so long to actually get into any meaningful anti-air. Like the idea of going into Hydra tech is very gas intensive. Building up queens takes a long time to build up queen counts. Getting your spores ready as well. So you can be down and out, but yo, you got Aspire, you can recover. Can bounce back. But here we go. Here we go. We're now getting to game number 2. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Rainfall, we have the pink Zerg player. We have the Zerg player from the land of Colombia, papi. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Eggs. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes. Leading the series 1-0. It is Eva. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into our ZVZ. When it comes to Eba's play here, I mean, when it comes to game 1, honestly, it was quite close. Like again, Eggs, he was in a winning position. He was doing a lot of damage. Like Eggs definitely had an avenue to claim that game. But Eba was very tenacious, despite losing both Evo chambers, despite losing his Roach Warren, despite being greedy and being denied his third base twice. He was able to find a way to recover in game number 1. When it comes to criticisms, Eba, he was greedy. Like typically if you don't open link speed, you should never try to get a third base. So he was being quite greedy, trying to take that third base too soon and too often. As once again, pull first out of Eba, once again hatch first out of Eggs. So we have the same dynamic as last time. Same dynamic. As I mentioned before, Eba's going for a safer start, Eggs is going for a greedier start, and Eggs will have a slightly better economy coming into the early game. Last game, we saw the same thing, where Eggs had a faster third expansion and had a better saturation early on. It was Eba that was going 2 base instead and was being greedy in the process, and then Eggs went for his own 32 drone all in. But let's go. Let us go. Once again, because Eba did go pull first, we're expecting a wall off. We're expecting 2-base play, late 3rd base, walling off from 2 bases, and into 2-base roach. Now, what I will say when it comes to the map itself, welcome to Rainfall. Rainfall is a very small map of the map pool, short rush distance by ground. The idea of Eba going for a big 2-base roach all in, again, last time he was shut down and he couldn't really get it going because he was denied all those upgrades, but this time I feel like it's going to hit very hard. It can hit harder, can hit even harder, even faster. It can hit like a truck. Eggs has to be careful. He has to respect it. Oh, Eggs going for an early Evo chamber. Okay. Usually an Evo chamber this early on, because it's so early, it looks like +1 melee. If you notice something, with the double Evo chamber, usually it's +1 melee, then link speed, and then it's all lined up together for a massive link flood. A player that does decide to go 2-base roach, because Eba, there's a very high chance that he's going to be skipping his baneling nest. There's a window in time where Eggs can link flood. He goes into carapace. Never mind, he's going into carapace, not melee. I believe this will still line things up. This is a variation of build that I haven't seen yet. What I mean by that, remember, the carapace was buffed in the most recent patch. I say was buffed, is cheaper. Remember, it is cheaper now. It's now the same cost as +1 melee. So the idea of going into incredibly fast +1 carapace like this, before you even get your natural up and running, and before link speed, it's much more viable. It's much more accessible here on this map, on this patch. As I believe we should still be going for link speed, correct? Yeah, there we go. So this is lined up. So link speed and +1 carapace. But Eggs is still mining gas. My initial assumption was that this was going to be for a link flood, but no. Because of the gas mining here, we plan on something more. We'll see. Meanwhile, Eba is going for a standard +1 carapace. I should emphasize that. Going into +1 carapace early is standard, and you can see it here from Eba, but compared to Eggs, it's much later. Like again, Eggs, he went for a +1 carapace before link speed. So this is a much more aggressive and a much more intense build here and timing from Eggs. Eba, this just looks like a 2-base roach in. This just looks like a 2-base roach in. Link speed, +1 carapace. We're setting up our roach horn as well. You see Eba, he's still mining 3 in gas. So 2 different builds, both aggressive in their own way. There's going to be an earlier timing for Eggs, but I mean, we'll see if he makes use of this timing. Because Eba, he's going for his own link flood. Now remember, Eba's build hits later. Why is that? Link speed. You can see link speed is like 60% done. Like we still have to wait for link speed. So Eba, he's massing up his links behind this. He's getting ready for his flood. Eggs' upgrades are done. But I would say that Eggs isn't really making the best use of this timing. Like this window, it's closing. Oh, links are real. Oh no, this round. Eggs late reaction, mass around. Oh, the links go down, and Eba, he's going to snowball out of control. He's going to snowball out of control here. Again, Eggs, I feel like this early carapace timing didn't really hit, didn't really do anything really. And now here comes Eba. He's going for the 3rd base, who will knock it down. Distracts the Lings. Oh, coming in for this round. Jesus. Yeah, does collapse in. Upgrades are even. And gets a queen. Queen does full. No transfuse. I believe won't get a second queen though. Yeah, there's none of Zerglings. Eggs. He's holding. He's got his roaches. And he saved the 3rd, more importantly. Right, the 3rd base was saved. Eggs, he does hold on. He's building up his roach army. Likewise, so is Eba. And we have to take stock here. Where exactly are we? Different openers, different builds, but we're ending up in the similar place where both players are getting their 3rd bases up and running, both players have +1 carapace, both players getting +1 range, and both players building up their roaches. But Eggs is going Ling Bane Roach, meanwhile Eba is Ling Roach. Interesting. I mean, these Banelings will help. Carapace does diminish the strength of these Banelings a little bit, but Eggs is completely all in. He's completely all in. He's moving out with everything. I'm a little bit perplexed about this lair. I don't know if the game is going to last long enough for the lair to come into play. Like, I feel like this is it. It's all or nothing for Eggs. Eba setting up on the high ground. Eggs moving in. Banelings, ideally, they turn away the Lings, and we're getting some of the roaches. Nice big ups. He gets 1, he gets 2. 3 roaches going to be going down. We get a couple of transfuses. Spine, he cancels the confidence. Iba cancels the spines. He realizes that he has defended. Iba shuts down the all-in. Very impressive defense here out of Iba. And Iba, he's up in drones. He's up in drones. He's up in workers. He's up in upgrades. He has +2 on the way already. Roach speed is almost done. Iba is ahead. He's ahead, Pappy. Oh. Then he goes off. Banning does go off. And he's going for his own wing around back here on the right hand side. At least hoping to find some damage. Overlord does spot this. Iba's fully aware. Iba responds. It turns back around. We peel off some roaches here towards the third base. And Eggs, he's going for a second all-in. You can see here, no drones. No droning, no saturation. We're just going for a second wave, a second all-in. Again, Eggs is behind. Egg knows he's behind. Egg knows that he has to end the game soon. Otherwise, there is 0 chance to win this game. Why 2-2? Right, we have 2-2 upgrades on the way for Iba. Eggs, he can't survive that. He cannot survive that. Bailey's able to into the mineral line. Drone's going to be going down, but that doesn't matter. It's all about the army. It's all about the roaches. Yeah, queens are coming to support. More roaches are popping out. We have some transfuse. Yeah, there's the first transfuse as well. And Iba, he's holding. He's holding on. Bappy. Now, the Ling reinforcements will help, for sure. Lings are trickling in. Iba does pull back the queen. Nice save on the queen, actually. That's crazy. Yeah, pulls back the queen. As time goes on, it's going to be a stronger defense for Iba. Iba just needs more time. We just see more roaches. Barely holding on. Will lose a couple of drones, but Iba's still up in workers, and Eggs forced to drone up himself. And 2-2 is about to hit. It's about to hit. +2 just now begins for Eggs. The reasoning for this, he never planned the game to last this long. Like, this game was not meant to, it should be over by now. We're not meant to be here. Ay. We're not supposed to be here. +2 carry base about to finish up in 10 seconds. And here it comes. Here comes Iba. Iba pushing across the map. Commits. Eggs, they come in from behind. Oh. Getting a drone. Getting 1, 2, 3 drones. I mean, again, some nice damage here, but Iba doesn't care. Iba just keeps on going. Keeps on pushing, collapsing on the roaches. Biles, they zone back the army. They force some inefficient trades here out of Eggs, and Iba snowballs out of control again. 2-2 upgrades against 1-1. And Eggs, he can go to bed. He can get some sleep. GG. Iba, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. Whew. And GG, well played. Again, a really interesting and aggressive build out of Eggs, wanting it back. Remember, Eggs, he went +1 carapace before Ling speed. Like, he went for a really early +1 timing, but remember, he didn't do anything with it. Like, there was nothing. Unfortunately, even though we got faster upgrades for Eggs, like, there wasn't really anything gained from that. Iba was playing a little bit safer, just playing on 2 bases, building up his roach count and being more robust. I mean, I say safer, he went for his own Ling flood, to be fair, and he was able to trade, get a queen, slow down his opponent, and then get into roaches in a much stronger game state. Because Iba had a higher drone count, he then had better upgrades, he had double Evo chambers as well, and that eventually outscaled Eggs. Eggs, he kind of missed his first window, went for a second push, but he just wasn't quite able to get any meaningful damage across the map. GG. GG, well played. Very chaotic back and forth. Very chaotic, very aggressive. With that, congratulations, Iba. He will advance on to the next round, and let's catch up on the brackets. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat as we have a look at the bracket. Un momento. There we go. As we catch up on the bracket itself. Whew. As we see where we are and where we are headed. Okay, from the top we have SHIN. SHIN, he's waiting for the winner of Maxmore and Interrupt, waiting in the round of 16. Up next we have herO. herO's up against Minizerg UA in a TVZ matchup. We have Percival versus Ilya. Winner goes up against Classic in the next round. Meanwhile, ByuN takes on Star Knight 2-0. Up next we have an X series. It's going to be ByuN versus Iba. in a ZVT. Scrolling down, we have herO. herO takes down Captain Fish 2-0, and herO is waiting for the winner of Nickrat and Perceive, waiting for the winner in that quarterfinals. So we have our series. We're going to be following Iba into ByuN. That will be our next matchup on the channel. Quarterfinals. Iba versus ByuN. Bearing in mind that for our tournaments, both semifinals will be casted. So regardless of, you know, whether the upper semis or lower semis is ready first, we will be all over that. Bear that in mind. So both semis will be casted. For now, though, we have our next series. Just gotta reach out to our players and make sure we don't get left behind. So depending on how things line up, we'll be covering ByuN versus Iba, and then we might cover the lower match of herO versus the winner of between Nickrat and Perceive. We might jump up here into like a classic series, or depending on how fast some of these matches are. I mean, it might even line up to the point where we cover the lower semis as well. Okay. Oh, speaking of, hey, we just got an update. We just got an update here. Nickrat takes down Perceive 2-0, and we have Nickrat versus herO in the lower quarterfinals. So there's a very high chance, actually, that these two series begin at the same time, end at the same time, and we just go spam straight into the lower semifinals. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my god, there's all three. Jesus, okay. Percival takes down Ilya 2-1. Went to the ace match, by the way. Oh, Ilya. Ay, ay, ay. Went to the ace match, but looks like all these three matches will happen at the same time. And again, ideally, we're able to follow this directly into the lower semis. Ideally, but again, we'll see how things line up, where things fall. Just catching up with the chat. Why carapace instead of attack if you're going roaches? Attack is so much more better on roaches versus lings. That is not true. So it looks like there's some weird things being said in the chat. Carapace upgrades are better when you're going for an all-in. There's a reason why both players went carapace. This is very common, has been the case since like 2023-ish era of StarCraft. But carapace helps because, one, it benefits both your roaches and your zerglings, but it also makes your roaches more sturdier against ling aggression. So specifically in roach versus ling, lings take longer to kill roaches because of that carapace upgrade, just because of the high attack rate of the zergling. Bearing in mind that carapace upgrades are better when it comes to attack rate, that's also why carapace upgrades are better against ByuN, for example, because of the high attack rate of the marine. Same can be said about the high attack rate of the zergling as well. On top of that, also carapace does benefit when it comes to banelings. So ling versus ling, or ling bait versus ling bane, does have benefits there as well. Where +1 range upgrade, for example, has better showing, is a better upgrade, is roach versus roach. Specifically in roach versus roach, +1 range is superior, does more damage, like is more beneficial. But again, that's because of the lower attack rate of the roaches. Like there's other things that come into play, other dynamics. But otherwise, we're going to be getting into our next game, and spawning in the right hand corner of Lockdown, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player representing the planet of heroes. It is Iba. But here we go. Here we go. We have our first game of the series. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go. So we are going to be settling into our game, settling into our ZVT. First things first, it is going to be a hatch pool opener here out of Eva. Again, earlier pool compared to a later gas geyser to make sure that we have our queens and lings in time to defend against early Reaper aggression. Speaking of, the first Reaper is going to be on the way for ByuN, and ByuN going for a standard opener, no CC first. We have been seeing ByuN mix in CC first, and Terran players in general, CC first quite a bit, especially on these larger maps. But here on Lockdown, and ByuN does open up with a much more standard build instead. We go. As from here we have our natural base being taken. We can drone, we can saturate. From here, we'll see how ByuN does decide to open up. If you've been watching much of ByuN as of late, you would know that ByuN has been playing a lot of mech. But mech, I would say, is dependent on his build. Very often, we do see mech thrown down if we go for a hyper greedy build. Think CC first, fast third CC, then you can get into your additional factories. Otherwise, we're expecting Bio out of ByuN. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a mixture of the two throughout the course of this best of 3. ByuN does dip in. And, oh, does not get the drone. Eva will save the worker. Does pull back. Again, if you're familiar with these two players, you'll also know that this is a rematch. They faced off in the grand finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago where they were both the finalists. ByuN did defeat Eva. At the time, Eva had no idea how to play ZVT. He was very inexperienced on the new patch. He was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, it's like, hey. But has been working on his matchup and has been improving, and hoping to put on a better show, a stronger performance. Behind this third CC before Starport, getting to our 3 CC 1-1-1 into, I would imagine, Cloak Banshee play, looking like Hellion Banshee, just standard economic setup here by ByuN. Nothing crazy. So far, again, the Reaper is going to be zoned away. We have a reacted Hellion. There's the add-on swap into Hellion Banshee. And it's going to be up to Eva to keep up, right? To keep up with the defense, to keep up with the aggression, to minimize losses, minimize damage. And we'll see if he can. Now, setting up his queen, setting up his creep. Oh. Hellions are going to be zoned away. Oh, and Eva's going lair first. Okay, yeah, my attention. It's going to be around a 4:45-ish lair timing. So early lair out of Eva. Meanwhile, I assumed, whoa, hold on. I assumed that we were going to be opening a Banshee. Only one Banshee, by the way. Okay. Only one Banshee moving out. Behind this, going for the Raven. Doubling down into Bio. But an interesting take here. Usually it's double Banshee, right? Usually it's going to be double Banshee out of ByuN to get a little bit more value, to be able to one-shot workers. But no, single Banshee into the Raven instead. Because we're skipping out the Banshee, this actually won't delay medevac production. This is still lined up to add-on swap onto the reactor to get into reactor medevacs. Yep, there's that swap. We're swapping to just make the reactor instead. Of course. But this will allow ByuN to be a little bit greedier, to hold on to some scans. So far, getting one, getting 2 drones. And to try to clear up creep with the Hellions. There we go. Does clear off that creep. The downside here is, of course, now there's going to be less to harass mineral lines and less economic damage. So ByuN is foregoing economic damage for map control. Oof. As the Raven does take a lot of hits. We do see with that faster layer, we're going to faster Hydras, and we're actually skipping Banelings. Now, this is a style that has been quite popular over the past year and a half, if you recall. We're going straight Ling Hydra. If you remember, Solar has been very fond of this, or was very fond of this maybe 6 months ago. Oh. At the start of the year, as the Raven almost goes down. Yeah, Raven barely does get away. Queen falls instead. Nice pick off there by ByuN. But again, a heavy Hydra count going pure Ling Hydra. This style does leave you vulnerable against early bio aggression, but remember, it was not a 2-1-1. Like this was a Hellion Banshee opener instead, so the Zerg player has a little bit more freedom to get away with something like this. It's still risky, of course, and usually it's supported by Infestors down the line. If the Zany bit is done, we're waiting for said Infestors. ByuN pushing on the south side. There's that first Infestor on the way. It's going to be out in time. Yeah, the Hellions are distracting. ByuN's moving in. eBay getting in position. eBay still needs a little bit more time. Oh. It needs a little bit more time. As one Queen goes down. Massive pick off. There's no creep. There's no transfuse. Uh-oh. But eBay has the Infestor. And eBay holds. eBay will hold on. Behind this, ByuN taking a 4th base. Getting the 4th expansion. eBay actually going for the counterattack instead. Back at home, ByuN has plenty to defend though, so this shouldn't really be lined up with too much. Oh, the Queens! Yeah, the Hydra's exposed. Queen goes down as well. One fungal lands, so does the second fungal. Where are the Lings though? Where's the Ling support? Oh my god. Yeah, very messy defense here out of eBay. These Lings, they didn't accomplish anything across the map. Oh. Still looking for damage. Those Lings would have made for a cleaner defense. As eBay, he will lose 7 Hydras and an Infestor as well. Oof. He was in trouble. He was in trouble. eBay lost the Infestor and I had to spend 2 fungals. And how many fungals are left? 1? 0. We have 0 fungals. Without fungals, ByuN, it's going to be a hard army to stop. It's going to be a very hard army to stop here. We need that second Infestor. ByuN rotates over towards his upside. Rotating everything towards the center. eBay supply blocked. Now is not the time. Oh, yeah, eBay cannot fight this at all. No, not like this. Not with just Lings. And ByuN is moving in. Now there is one fungal. Oh, it doesn't quite land. There's one fungal left. Not even. Still needs more energy. Up. Un poquito más. There it is. Yeah, one fungal remaining. Does land, but where's the follow-up? There is none. Yeah, there is no follow-up. Hydra's getting caught out. They're falling one after the other, and ByuN snowballs out of control. Breaks through the main army. Again, the fungals. That's what we were hoping for. That's what we needed to survive. But 2 fungals were spent very early on, and eBay had a very messy defense outside the natural. From there, ByuN just takes it. Breaks through most of the Hydras, rotates to the top side, and can he get the expansion? Oh, he wants the drones. He gets them. The drones, pappy. 14, oh my god. 14 drones gonna be going down. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he will take a lead in the series. Again, a very aggressive game here out of ByuN. eBay was being greedy. He was being greedy. He was cutting corners. eBay did try to go into Ling, Hydra, Infestor, which is a viable composition. We do see a lot of the top Zerg players do this, but you're kind of like walking on a very fine line here. Just because you are so your fungals are so crucial. Your Infestors are crucial. Your fungals are crucial. You are heavily reliant on those fungal growths and on your Infestors to survive and to hold on and to get away with cutting corners and get away with skipping Banelings. And we saw that, unfortunately for eBay, as he went across the map, that's when ByuN moved in, and that meant that eBay, he lost an Infestor, spent 2 fungals, he lost 7 Hydras, and that was the beginning of the end for eBay. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into game 2. We're going to be loading into Rainfall. Let's go. Loading into Rainfall. Much smaller map. Typically, smaller maps do favor Terran. This tells me that ByuN can be even more aggressive and even more assertive, and we'll see what he goes for this time. Oh boy. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Rainfall, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg. We have the red Zerg player here. We have from the land of the UK, representing the planet of heroes. It is Eva. Here we go. Here we go. So we are getting ready here for game number 2. Coming into this, remember last game, ByuN, he was a little bit more assertive here. He took his own risk by going for the earlier Raven to support his Hellion specifically, and he was able to apply some pressure, able to clear up some creep, at least have a presence on the map. But of course, what it really came down to was ByuN's push, was able to wedge himself in between the bases, push into the natural as Eba was going across the map. We'll see if this time Eba is going to be a little bit more safe, a little bit safer, a little bit more secure. We'll see if he does take another chance, another risk. We'll see if Eba does mix things up and actually plays Banelings this time into Ling Bane, or even Ling Infestor Hydra into Ultra Tech. We might even try to go for something similar again. We'll see. You know, the Rainer, for example, is fond of Ling Infestor Ultra, which again is even greedier and even harder to get away with. But this time, there we go. Here comes the Reaper. So same opener out of ByuN. Likewise, Eba going for his own hatch pool gas. Calming down. As ByuN does it out across the map. We'll apply some pressure. Again, nothing crazy. Lings are out, and here the dance has begun. It's going to be an Eba to minimize losses, to preserve his workers, buy time for the Queen, and to defend. There we go. Queen pops out. Reaper's going to be zoned away. Behind this, that's going to be a third TC before Starport, so same build. Same build 2 games in a row to ByuN. So far, at least, we're expecting a Starport follow-up. Likewise, Eba preserves the creep tumor, preserves all the Zerglings, hasn't lost anything, just forced to make a gas geyser. And there's that Starport follow-up into add-on, into Tech Lab. And all still looking solid so far. We'll see if ByuN once again goes Banshee into Raven, or if he goes double Banshee, if he goes into Cloak. Like, there's still variation available here for ByuN, depending on where he wants to take us. Ooh, as ByuN does overextend here. Okay, a little bit greedy out of our Terran. Throws away the Reaper, and Eba can now more securely drone, and a bit of that weight has been taken off the shoulder, off of his shoulders. Meanwhile, I was curious, if you remember, was it going to be double Banshee, Banshee Raven again, Cloak Banshee? The answer is no. We're going into faster stim. This time when we make the Tech Lab, it's going to stay on the racks. We're not going for the swap onto the Starport, so we're going to go for earlier stim into Liberator instead. Again, there are some pros, there are some cons to this. The Liberator is less mobile, and there's a little bit less potential to get damage done. But at the same time, I mean, if the Banshee isn't going to get damage done anyway, then you can just cut some corners and go for a faster stim and just forego any kind of, like, Raven play or Banshee play, and preserve your gas and preserve your add-ons. So here comes stim. The Liberator moves out. And we'll see if ByuN can catch Eba with his pants down. Eba, he is aware of the Hellions amassing. Eba did not dip into the natural, sorry, into the main. So Eba's not fully aware. This time Evo once again goes for the faster lair into an earlier Evo chamber. Okay, interesting. This Evo chamber's timing looks like Eva's getting ready for an early stim timing, which isn't really happening here. It's like for a 2-1-1. So early +1 carapace out of Eva. This is a very safe way to play. Very safe. Liberated a siege. Gets one. Yeah, one drone goes down. Hellions poke in. And the queens are keeping up. Oh, we go for the knife. Yeah, there's so many Hellions. He's going for the knife. He's going to commit. Ling's getting roasted. We're going for the mineral line. And Eva, he has to pull away. He has to split. Yeah, he does try to split up his drones. But again, some of them are still clumping up. Oof, and this is still going to get out of hand. 11, 13 drones going down. This is too much. Too much damage. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Critical damage being dealt. 17 drones over a mineral line with the workers go down. That is critical damage. Oh, it's critical damage here. Eva, he has to do something to recover in this game. Remember, the soup is lying to you. The soup does lie. Here, the supplies are technically in favor of Eva. Eva has a comparable worker count, but the Zerg player needs to be ahead in workers to be even with the Terran. Due to the fact with how close they are in workers, ByuN is far ahead. Eva has to replenish all those workers, has to keep redroning, resaturating. This delays the army, this delays the tech. Bearing in mind that we had a faster lair, but now we're going to get into later Baneling speed. It is going to be Ling Bane out of Eva, but it's going to be a very rocky mid-game now for the Zerg. Very rocky. Ay, ay, ay. And now you can see the supply now turning in favor of ByuN, and that supply disparity is going to get larger and larger. It takes time for that to fully kind of, for that revelation, for that to be revealed, for that to kick in. ByuN does catch a couple of tumors. Can he afford to cancel? Oh, shouldn't be able to. Eva does keep up. So far so good. Denies the drops. Eva trying to prepare his Ling Bane. ByuN building up his bio. So far, only drop play. And eventually we'll commit to a push. But now ByuN just applying some light pressure. Double drop on the left, double drop on the right. Eva is somewhat in position. No Banelings on the top side. Bear that in mind. Just Lings. ByuN breaks in. Ooh, oh my god, massive mine shot catching out Zerglings as well. Yeah, Lings get caught out. There's a second mine. ByuN gaining more ground. Baneling's now going to be rolling in. Baneling speed is now done. Fails to bait out the mine. Jesus. Yeah, ByuN pulls away. Nice splits. Very nice split. Very nice spread. And ByuN, he overwhelms the Ling Bane. Bottom left kills the hatchery. Top right kills the mineral line. 4 drone kills and a hatchery. And you can see that Eva just cannot keep up. We mentioned this earlier. This is the snowball effect of the earlier economic damage. As I mentioned, the soup was lying to you how close it looked. Really, Eva was miles behind. And there you can see it. 10 more drones going down. Eva cannot keep up with this army. Not after the earlier losses. Another queen falls as well. Oof. Yeah, catching more Hydras. GG gets called, and ByuN will claim the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, ByuN. He will claim the series. Again, just a really rough early game there for Eva to lose 17 drones. That was, we said critical damage. That was game-ending damage. That was game-ending damage to lose that many workers that early on. Ay, ay, ay. Again, ByuN, he was able to find an opening, rush his way in, and break through at the third location. Eva, he was maybe underestimating the power and the threat of those Hellions, and yeah, it was a rough moment. It was rough defense. Okay. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. Just catching up. Meanwhile, with that, congratulations. ByuN will advance on to the semifinals, and we are going to be following him into those semis. Let's go. Oh my god, as we already have it ready. Okay, I mean, hey, we assumed that we We made this assumption earlier, and it has come to fruition. The idea that both semis do finish at around the same time, and then bam, we jump. Sorry, the lower quarterfinals match finishes at the same time, and then bam, we just follow our series directly into the semifinals. Let's go. Let us go. So herO took down Nicaragua 2-0, and with that, we are getting ready for our semifinals. It's going to be a best of 3 between ByuN and herO. Let's go. Let's go. Un momento. Beautiful. Just reaching out. Again, the Personal vs. Classic is still ongoing. Meanwhile, scrolling on over here to the top side, Interrupt did take down Max Moore 2-0, but is now mid-series versus SHIN. Again, it looks like the upper matches are a little bit more delayed. Looks like they'll take a little bit more time to really get going. Ideally, we wrap up the lower semis, and then we have the upper semis ready for us. But again, we'll see how long it takes for the upper bracket to catch up. The matches here are a little bit longer. Longer games, longer matches. We go. The pants were down. Not true. Chat, is this game live or a replay? As the command states in the chat, we are live, of course. If we ever do cover an event via replays, or if it's ever a rebroadcast, it is typically stated in the title of the stream. In the title. As spawning in the left-hand corner of the Old Sun Temple, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, representing T1. It is herO. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's Gamba time. It's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck. As predictions are now open. And coming into this, I would say that herO is the favorite player, but ByuN is a very strong competitor and a very strong contender here. This can go either way, leaning towards herO, but again, ByuN, he can definitely take him down. For now, we open up with a proxy. Going for the proxy here. Welcome to the Old Sun Temple. Remember, this is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top right, top left, or bottom right. 4 possible spawn locations. RNG is a factor here. herO does proxy more or less in the center of the map, and he is looking for ByuN. He is searching for him. Now, herO is hoping for CC first. He's hoping for an earlier CC. He's hoping for a greedier build. ByuN opens up double gas. Okay, so when it comes to the openers, ByuN is in a better position. Again, going for the proxy, herO is hoping for either a CC first or a single gas opener. But it's double gas. Double gas means faster factory, faster Hellion, faster production, faster tech. It means that ByuN is going for a safer build, and herO is fully aware. herO gets a full scout off. Now, thankfully, it was only one gateway. Only one gateway. If ByuN gets a CC on the low ground after the factory, then herO might still get some damage done, but that's what herO is hoping for. He's hoping for a low ground CC, and maybe he can force a cancellation. Maybe. I believe ideally herO also wants to wait for this Reaper to get across the map. As the Reaper is coming. herO chilling with the Zealots, waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is not done. Stalker's on the way. There's that Chrono. And herO, he will soon pull that trigger. ByuN does make his way across the map. Does find the probe. You can see herO just drag ByuN towards the right hand side. Drags him away. ByuN is scouting bottom right, I think. Yeah. ByuN is scouting bottom right. And here comes herO. And hey, as we mentioned, he wants that CC. I say that, goes further in. There we go. I was like, are we going into the main? There we go. Delays the command center. Zell just swiping away here at the command center as well, trying to force that cancel. Second Stalker has arrived. The Reapers are going to be focused down. And there it is. There's that cancellation. So nice damage here by herO. With this, the boys are being pulled. Zelda's going to be surrounded. Despite that, getting two SCVs, and we get the Hellion. Oof, not quite. Yeah, mass repair. The Hellion does survive, and ByuN holds. ByuN does hold on. Again, here he was hoping for a little bit more damage, but I mean, I'm sure he's content. Did force a cancel, killed 2 workers as well. Not bad. Oh, we'll lose a Stalker there. Yeah, Stalker does go down. Forced to recall. Hellion does not fall either. So we have a bit of a back and forth, but again, I'm sure herO is content with the base being denied or delayed, especially with herO having cross spawns. Remember, with diagonal spawn locations, longer rush distance by ground, a higher chance that now herO is going to be safe to build up his natural and to build up his third base as well. As herO is getting across the map. Again, still fighting for map control. Gets a volley off. ByuN force back. And ByuN has a couple of options here. Do we go for a fast third CC, or do we double down on 2 bases? To recover here in this game, so far with the answer, it is going to be a 1-1-1 follow-up. No third command center yet. Meanwhile, hero's take of choice, Robo. Huh. That's a Robo before Twilight Council. Are we looking to go Robo into Bay into fast 2-base Colossus? This would be a very safe build, especially against something that's more bio heavy. herO has not scouted. He doesn't really know what's going on. But overall, this is a relatively safe build and should be safe against an all-in. ByuN does begin early tank production. Looking to soon move out. May just wait for his... Actually, my apologies. I assumed that this was going to be reactor into Medivacs, but no. Building up to the early Raven. herO, he has time. He has plenty of time here. Forge now on the way for +1. There's the Bay. herO is going early Colossus. So Robo into Bay into 2-base Colossus production. Again, very defensive, very safe play out of herO. So to me, this says that herO, after getting ahead early on, he's just afraid that ByuN would all in. I don't blame him. ByuN is going for his own 3-1-1 setup. You can see here that even though ByuN has a starport, we're going to be leaving it idle here to just get into faster stim. Just very fast tank production into stim as well. This is very aggressive. This is very dedicated play here out of ByuN. Yep, there's that stim. So ByuN does pull away. ByuN is unaware whether or not this is going to be Robo or Twilight Council, so ByuN has to be careful. I mean, he doesn't know how careful he has to be fair. As Colossus are building up, auto charge into the main base, the shield battery will defend. So the battery holds on. From here, we'll see how hard ByuN commits to this. We're still not seeing a third CC. Like, there's still no expansion behind this, so ByuN is going to be quite dedicated to his push. Hallucination will confirm the 3 tank count. Here he sees all the tanks. Gets eyes on the move out. Here he comes. This is it. Here comes ByuN. Let's go to the Mass on Siege. Behind this, it looks like ByuN will expand, so he's not all in, but this is still very dedicated. They're still quite committed. This still has to get damage done here. And here is fully aware. Colossus revealed. Oh, this looks like a misrally. ByuN now knows. That's huge. Remember, ByuN, he didn't know what the tech was. Double drop into the main. Yeah, drops into the main base. Sims in. Oh, tries to stim in. Colossus in position. herO holds. Nice defense out of herO. Shuts on the drop. Again on full 3-base saturation. And ByuN, upon confirming all the Colossus, he does not push. Good call. Again, there's a reason why we said earlier that going for river-based opener is just very safe. If ByuN tried to commit, he'd just run into a wall of Colossus and wouldn't really gain any ground. As a result, this is looking rough for ByuN. At least he will retain the army. He does keep all these tanks alive into a longer game, that is true, but ByuN was hoping for damage. Going for another double drop. So double drop on the right, double drop here on the left. Oh, no, ByuN! Oh, God. We gotta lock in, Patty. We gotta lock in. Ah. That poor tank. It's actually huge. Like, we don't really have that many tanks to begin with, ByuN. Ay. Calm down, Pappy. Calm down. It's venting his frustrations. So let's push forward. He's ready towards the fourth. He's also charging in. The flanking Colossus are a little bit late to the fight. Yeah, they're a little bit late here. One Colossus doesn't get focused down. And the first Colossus should fall. The hallucination! No shot. The hallucination tanks. Yeah, well, it's tanking damage. Meanwhile, the rest of the Colossus, they move in. They clean everything up. They clean it all up here. The tanks go down. The army falls. And herO completely cleans this up. Will lose another... No, never mind. He saves it. Saves the Colossus towards the end. And GG. GG gets called. herO, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO takes the lead in the series. Again, ByuN, as we mentioned at the time, he was very, very committed, very dedicated to his build. He failed to get damage done with his first push as he realized that he was up against Mass Colossus. Then he went for a second move out. He killed his own tank. He tried to push his way forward. It was a messy defense out of herO as he initially fought with only half his army, but it also shows just how far ahead herO was. Remember, one of the reasons why ByuN was so dedicated was because he had a very late natural and late third base. Like, ByuN's economy was very delayed. It was very lackluster, so he didn't really have the production, the machinations to get into a longer game. It wasn't really possible there. Let's go. Let us go, as we're going to be loading into game number 2. Loading into Sanctuary 3. Losing that tank was huge. Yeah, I mean, we mentioned at the time, like, ByuN, like tanks, they're the backbone of the army, right? They are the backbone of the army. And I mean, herO, he was left alive with only 2 Colossus. Like, imagine what, just more DPS, another tank there, adding to the fight, adding to the push. I would not go as far as to say is that would have won beyond that fight, and then potentially even could have kept pushing. I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, it would have influenced things for sure. Would have had an impact, as we are getting into a disconnected keyboard. There we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Sanctuary 3, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify down in the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into game number 2 here. This time, no proxy. Remember, game 1, herO, he went for a proxy in the center of the map and was able to get some damage done. Initially, I assumed that it would be a little bit difficult due to ByuN's build, but he was still able to force that cancel, get 2 SCVs, and disrupt the opener of ByuN. Meanwhile, this time at ByuN, he is going for a much earlier SCV move out, I would imagine, for an eBay block. Yeah, the Rax is back at home, looking to disrupt herO's economy. So the turns have been tabled. The eBay is on the way. As again, for now, we do see herO forced to make the early zealots. Usually you'd want to skip this, but due to the early eBay block, I mean, here he's going to have to commit here into breaking out. Actually, no, was forced to take the unnatural natural. Still with the for zealot to run across the map. But remember, ByuN just saw the zealot. Yeah, he knows. So high ground CC this time, as opposed to game 1, he will not be forced to cancel. Not this time. So big scout there by ByuN. As ByuN will have a much cleaner start. Much cleaner. Let's go from here. herO, he does move out for his scouts. Went for a sentry follow-up, which, okay, interesting. To go for the sentry, getting a scout across the map, but back at home, do you see what I see? I see 2 gates, no Twilight Council. So herO, he's choosing to delay his tech, whether it would have been Twilight Council or Robo or Stargate, but delayed tech in favor of a very early gateway aggression. So rushing into Warp Gate, into the 3-gate setup. herO is going to be moving out across the map and most likely getting a proxy. Oh, he might get a proxy pylon. Yeah, there it is. I was curious. We have a probe hidden on the right hand side for that proxy pylon to warp in across the map as well. And herO wants to break that natural. As ByuN expands, gateways are about to come online. herO is getting in position. Pylon's about to finish as well. More gates are done. And here comes the warp in. Here comes that warp in just as ByuN looks to expand. As I mentioned, like the goal here for herO is to catch out the army, force a trade here on the low ground, want the natural, and contain ByuN. He gets, oh, nice force field too. 2 SCVs, and nibbles away at the CC. Oh, herO, ideally he wants a volley off on the Cyclone. Force field catches 1 Marine, and an SCV. 2 Marines, actually. Yeah, 2 Marines, 2 SCVs. I mean, ByuN didn't really lose too much. There's a world where imagine if that force field had caught like 5 Marines. Or even the Cyclone. Like, that would have been huge. So, thankfully, ByuN, he slips away. He's able to maintain his army, defends on 1 base. Back at home, herO going for his own Robo and saturating his natural. Again, the goal here for herO is not to kill. The goal was never to kill ByuN. It was only to contain and delay the natural. Just keep ByuN busy on 1 base for as long as possible. Eventually, ByuN will break out, by the way. Like, eventually he will break out. Oh! And herO just has to make sure that when that happens, herO leaves and he doesn't get caught. And tank is sieging. The herO, calm down. And tank shot goes off. You're staying out of range of the tank with that whole position micro. Oh, Raven, sorry, Banshee, I should say. I was about to say Raven harass. Banshee does move in across the map and will get some damage, bearing in mind that there is no blink. So Banshee just moves back to the third base. More damage done. Has killed one probe so far, and ByuN breaks out. So a very nice Banshee harass here. It's not about the damage, it's about the denied mining time, but also it's about ByuN being able to take his own natural. So very nice Banshee. Forcing everything back home. And now herO's in trouble. Remember, herO, he did forego his tech in favor of all these stalkers. That means he has no blink. He has no blink, he has no ability to dive on an army or to micro back. Like, his army is that much more inefficient. But we'll see how committed ByuN is going to be with this stim timing. Stim, 3-1-1 setup, building up his tanks, building up his bio. It's still going to take some time for this to really get going. So I believe herO should be able to finish charge. I'm assuming it's going to be charge, not blink stalkers, but we'll see. There's the Immortal finishing up, Safety Immortal, to Temple Archives, into charge. As I mentioned, like it's too late to go into blink stalkers. Like, we're done with blink stalkers at this point. So charge into Archons and a Storm. herO's on the way. Raven moves in. 4, not bad. 4, 5. 5 probes going down. Nice harass here out of ByuN. Very nice. Until then, herO jumping in. Oh, good. herO drops into the mineral line. Getting some damage done. Un poquito. Ian pulling away. See, ByuN wants to move out. He does leave his tanks back at home to defend. The tanks, the Banshees, his reinforcements. Oh, herO gets caught. Yeah, massive pickup, catching out 2 stalkers. One stalker goes down, and a sentry, not bad. And the Immortal. It's going to be close, but the Immortal does not get away. Oh my, the save, the pickup. Okay. It's the herO. Very clutch save. Colossus, sorry, so the Storm is now done. We have splash damage. Storm comes in. Massive Storm. No, he stands in it. Massive Storm. herO. This nation rallies in. Look at how low the Prism is as well. The clutch Storm. herO holds. He doesn't just hold, by the way. ByuN, this army's being chased down. Yeah, he's being chased down. He's getting caught. ByuN does wake up, does pull away at the same time. Nice harass here. Probes are going down. Ooh, herO's economy is crippled. Losing so much, no reaction. 12 probes. 12 probe kills. Medevac does double back around. There's a tank at home to defend. I don't think herO has enough. The Storms are good, but with these reinforcements, with these Marauders, with the SimCity as well. Yeah, herO, he's being torn apart here. 18, 19 probe kills across the map. Critical damage. herO, he chose to push. He could have defended. Chose to move out. Achieve no damage. And back at home, ByuN is popping off. 21 probes. He's still not done. 22. Oh. And herO has no economy. This is critical damage. Critical damage, Pappy. 23 probe kills. Oh, ByuN will lose a full medevac. Full medevac does go down. So we're getting a little bit messy here, but for the most part, ByuN, he's up in workers, he's even on bases, up in economy, soon to be up in army as well, switching into ghost production. The longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for ByuN. herO needs time to recover to get into a longer game, and I don't think he can, though. Okay, has potential. Storm drop. True. Okay, if herO can get a mineral line, if he can land these storms, then sure. But look how low the medevac is. Zoning storm. Yeah, the first storm doesn't really achieve much, neither does the second. And the control is solid for herO. Controller's there, another storm lands. The issue is that at this point, it's a very Marauder heavy composition, so ByuN, he can just take some storms to the face and it doesn't matter. Like, he can tank it. He can tank the storms. Does charge in, another double layer storm on the tank. Tank does go down, and here he's gonna keep going. Nice storms! Very nice storms. But he needs zealots. We need warpins. We need reinforcements. The boys are being pulled. 0 storms left. Prism pulls away. Nice control, but again, we need a warpin. We need reinforcements, but hero's broke. Oh my god. Look at the Archon. The juggling is crazy. The juggling is insane. Hero, his army is at death's door. Everything's deep in the red. Even the Archon's out of shields. Hero barely has anything. His army's barely standing, but he is getting critical damage here. The boys being pulled into the Archon. EMP, the dodge. Oh, Archon goes down to 1. Yeah, down to 1 Archon. Ooh, massive snipe there. Prism goes down. And ByuN holds. ByuN, he does hold on. Whew, was very close, very clutch. He does barely hold on here. But even though he holds, that was 57 SCVs. That was insane. Again, here, he was microing his heart out. Juggling the Archons, juggling the Immortals as well, juggling the Stalkers. Remember, he has no blink. It was doing everything with that one Warp Prism. That was the MVP Warp Prism, by the way. That was insane. And here, he's doing it. He's doing it. I will say that hero was a little bit inefficient when it came to his storms. Like, he was, some of them, especially one of the storms felt like a panic storm. Referring to the double layered storm on the tank. Oh. But regardless, still broke the main army here, denying the third base. It's a very messy game. Here and up to 51 probes back at home. He's brought it back. Crazy. Oh my god. Crazy, papi. And now Hero does not, he should not push into this. Like Hero, at this point, Hero's done enough. Hero's ahead. Hero, he's got double the worker count. He's got double the probes. Hero just has to wait for ByuN to come to him because ByuN wants to expand. ByuN, he needs to move out. Oh, the spread. That's a lot of High Templar. That's a lot of storms. The storms, papi. Oh my god, a massive storm with the army. He takes it. Almost the full storm. Oh god, where are we going? Hero, calm down. Jesus. There are mines. Okay, storms of mines. Hero, be careful, papi. Be careful. You see, because of the storms, the Medivacs are running out of energy. They're actually almost completely out, by the way. That's through just the storms. Does burn a storm on 2 Marauders, though. Their base is denied. At the same time, there was some Raven Hearts across the map. The Raven coming back in, wants more damage. Oh no! Ooh, does land 1 storm. Prism pulls away, another storm lands. Oof. Yeah, you can see the army is very low. Behind this, that 1 Raven, 4 more probes. Here we're getting a little bit ambitious. Jesus. Here, calm down. At this point, we're getting a little bit wasteful here. How many storms does Hero have left? No, it's fine. I was like, we've spent like 5 or 6 storms over the past minute. That's fine. He's got 4 more High Templar. Oh god, we'll lose 1. 1 Templar goes down. He's got 3 Templar left. The storms are coming. Jesus. And again, ByuN just can't move down this choke point. Not with the High Templar in position. Whenever he tries, yeah, you can see he's trying to bait out the storm. Trying to. Ooh, Prism goes down. Massive pickup. No War Prism. ByuN gets down the ramp. EMP lands. The EMP lands and he's got another. He has another EMP available. ByuN has broken out and he can now finally claim his 3rd. Now, as I say that, now we have Colossus on the way. Now it's not just Storm, but Colossus are amassing. Hero takes over. Bearing in mind, Hero, he has no War Prism here, so he has limited micro available. Gee, that CC is low. Yeah, nice zoning storm. The CC goes down. It's a kill. That's going to be a kill. Oh no, he gets it. Massive pickup kills the CC. ByuN, we got to send it. We got to send it at this point. But his army is heavily overstimmed. I mean, I say overstimmed, overstormed. The storm lands. As you mentioned at the time, because of all the storm damage, because of all the damage over time, I mean, the Medevac's out of energy. They're out of energy. Not like this, Patty. Not like this. The Colossus has arrived. One shots all the units. There's the final storm. GG gets called. And herO, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We have a herO claiming the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. Again, a very intense game, very intense, very back and forth. Initially, ByuN was in a commanding position. ByuN's Banshee harassed, the Raven harassed. He was killing so many probes while defending back at home. ByuN was ahead in the first half of this game. Like ByuN, he was ahead. He was in a commanding position. There was that moment where we said that herO, he had taken crippling damage. herO was basically all in, but we spoke about it. herO had something insane War Prism micro. Some insane control when he pushed him into the bases. And how many SCVs did herO kill? 57 with that all in. He was all in. He pushed across our, killed 57 workers, had some crazy storms, some crazy micro, pulling back the Archons, pulling back the Immortals, with like a 20% HP War Prism as well. Like it was a very, very low War Prism from earlier in the game, but was barely able to retain his army, micro his heart out control and out micro ByuN. GG, well played. With that insane comeback out of herO, as herO, he will claim the series, he will advance on, and we are getting ready for our next matchup. Let's go, let's catch up on the brackets. Again, I was hoping for a full series. I was hoping for an ace match. I mean, again, like there was definitely opportunities there that game for ByuN to bring it back and to force the third game, but game 2 got very messy. It got very, very messy from both sides, to be fair. Like it was, it was not a clean game. Both players got messy, down and dirty. With that, congratulations to herO. herO does advance on to the grand finals. Meanwhile, when it comes to the upper brackets, we have some waiting to do. SHIN and Honmono. SHIN versus Honmono. I think they might have just wrapped up, actually. They just came out of game. Either they're mid-series or they're about to, or they're done. So, un momento. We're about to get an update. Oh, okay, we got the results. We have our results in, and congratulations to SHIN. SHIN just took down Honmono 2-0. Up next, we have a best of 3 between SHIN and Classic. Okay. So we have a ZVP semifinals, and we'll see how this goes, of course. When it comes to the current patch, when it comes to the current meta, of course, Protoss players have been having a very hard time. When I say Protoss players, I'm referring to Max Packs, herO, and Classic. They've all been struggling in this matchup. They've all been hurting in their own way. So this is going to be a pretty big challenge here for Classic. We'll see if he can fight back. We'll see if he can bring SHIN down. We'll see how he does approach this matchup. So when it comes to the current meta, I mean, I guess we have some time to talk about it. When it comes to the current meta, it's either Protoss players typically all in or Skytoss. One or the other. That's kind of the end goal. Now, what I just said is very vague. Like there are a lot of different all-ins we can go for. There are different ways to get into Skytoss as well, but usually it's one or the other. The reasoning for this is the mid game is very difficult to the point where it's almost unplayable at the moment in PvZ. Due to the growth rate of Zerg. So trying to play like Stalker into Storm like you could previously isn't viable anymore. Like going Stargate into Blink into like Storm into like a 4-base setup isn't really viable anymore. Any kind of other variations there have been tested, and none of them quite are very effective either. That's why right now it's all about scouting. Like Protoss players can still beat Zergs, but a lot of it is trying to catch the Zerg play with their pants down, catch them off guard, fake a certain build, try to bait a certain response, and try to catch them that way. Is typically what we expect. But we'll see. We shall see. As vetoes are underway. It's catching up. It's a wonderfully messy game. Perfectly rose Sunday. True, true. Nope. Let's go. As we're loading into washout. How's the cannon rush, mate? Cannon rushes are weaker now due to the worker change. If you're maybe just tuning in after a long hiatus, says you haven't seen him play in 3 years, so maybe you've been a little bit absent for a while. But recently there was a big patch that did change the workers at the beginning of the game. Because of that, a lot of early aggressive builds have been stripped away. So things like cannon rushes are less viable because you start with less workers, so you can afford less pylons and less cannons, and it is much weaker than it used to be. Just as a heads up. But we'll see. We'll see how we open up. As spawning in the left-hand corner of Washout, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg. Representing on side, it is SHIN. Previously known as Ragnarok. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss player himself. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. As I try to fix up our in-game names. There we go. There we go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck. As we are going to be opening up. And for the most part, we're expecting 3-way saturation out of SHIN to go hatch gas pool into his own third base, into just droning and saturation. For the most part, from there, we could see SHIN diversify and go into Ling, Bane, Hydra, play with mutas, or go into a Roach heavy style to be a little bit safer. A lot of it will depend, though, on how Classic opens up. We mentioned earlier that when it comes to the current meta in PvZ, it's usually either the Protoss player all-ins or they play into Skytoss, one or the other. That is where the meta stabilized and where it landed like maybe a month ago, like 3-4 weeks ago at this point, since that new patch. Oh gee, oh my, SHIN. SHIN, he's gonna cut extra corners. We're going hatch and another hatchery before pool. Insane greed. Triple hatch before gas before pool. Thankfully he's not going gas before spawning pool, so it's going to be triple hatch into pool, then into gas geyser, but hyper greed out of SHIN, and he should get away with it. He should get away with it here. So again, SHIN cutting all the corners he can to have a boosted early and a boosted mid game. So this will lead into a stronger early and mid game here for SHIN. The pressure is going to be on Classic to try to punish this. Oh boy. So already SHIN is having fun. He's enjoying himself. Now Classic will confirm this. Classic comes in with the probe, he gets eyes on the hatchery, he gets eyes on the pool timing. That's what's important here. So Classic should recognize how late the spawning pool is and how greedy SHIN is being as a result of that. And we'll see if we can try to punish this. Eyes are on Classic whether we go for a Stargate, a Twilight Council, or something more sinister. That is going to be a Forge first. This looks like a 2-base all-in. So I believe this is a reaction and a response to SHIN being greedy. So Classic's going for a 2-base all-in. It's going to be Forge first into +1. This might hit with a Robo into Immortal production, into like a Soul Train. We could go for a vanilla gateway all-in without a Twilight Council, without upgrades. I feel like there are a couple of different ways to kind of make this work. I'm leaning more towards the Soul Train, but we'll see. Again, early +1. Yeah, there's that Sentry. So Sentries are very abnormal. When I say Soul Train is an Immortal Sentry all-in. So we're expecting a... Oh no. I was going to say we're expecting a Robo. That's a Twilight Council. From here, we could go into Charge, or we could even go into... No, yeah, it should be Charge. Technically, we go Twilight Council into Temple Archives, into Archons. But leaning more towards Charge here. We'll see. We are taking a third gas. I feel like 2-base blink all-ins don't make too much sense. Just because of how intensive resource-wise they are, but we'll see. Show us what you got. Again, sentries are amassing as we speak. Which is why we assumed it was going to be Immortal all-in. Building more sentries. Third base on the way. Glaives? That was not an option. That was not on the table. Now, technically, Adepts did get a buff. If you remember, in the latest patch, Adepts now scale better with upgrades. That is true. But I still feel like this is an odd choice here as an aggressive option with +1. Just because Adepts, they already kill Lings well to begin with. I mean, now they're going to be a little bit better against Roaches, but I mean, not by that much. Okay, let him cook. Let him cook, Pappy. Let him cook. Going into Glaives, into a Dark Shrine as well. Back at home, we have Ling Roach amassing. Like, again, the issue here is that Charge Lords with +1, honestly, they can trade quite well against Roaches, especially with Force Fields. If you can like cut the Roach count in half or into like a third, and then collapse in with Zealots, like you can mow through some Roaches. With Glaive Adepts, I'm not too convinced here that they're gonna do well at all, even with +1, even with better upgrades and with the latest like patch. I will see. Because here comes Shin. Here comes the Ling Roach Ravager. I get the Immortal production is delayed as well. It's been delayed, as we assumed it was going to be Robo instead of Pilot Council. Lings, they collapse in. Pylon is low. There's the backup Pylon, thankfully. And the Immortal will pop out. Nice force fields. Nice initial engagement. And Ravagers, they pull away. Lings, they come in. Oh no, the wall! The wall's wide open. Lings, they flood into the main base. They flood into that. Ooh, they flood into the natural as well. Another Ravager gets caught. But probes are going down. Yeah, critical damage here. Probes, they go down to the main and the natural base. 21 probe kills, critical damage. Ay, ay, ay. Recon to the main with the sentries. Sentries, they trade poorly here with the Lings. Ravagers diving on the Immortal. There is no battery. The Immortal goes down. And with that, Shin, he snowballs out of control. He snowballs out of control. Again, a really quirky all-in here from Classic. It was building up in a lot of different ways. It was very messy. It was Glaives, then DT. Sorry, it was +1. So sorry, we go in one direction. We go +1, then we take like a we hook right, then we go into Glaives, and then we do like a U-turn and we go into DTs, and then we turn back around and go into Immortals. Like, it was very, very messy, and it didn't quite come together. And I know where we ended up with this. We this is all the Classic has. It's all he has left. I mean, DTs are getting some free damage, I guess. Overseer's on the way. The Immortal should be focused down. Oh god, barely gets away though. Okay. The Immortal is out. The Immortal pulls back. Again, free damage with the DTs. They trade well for themselves. This is a very messy fight for Shin. Very messy. We're getting messy, Pappy. But the Immortal finally goes down. Again, took a long time to get the detection going. Boys are being pulled, drones are going down, but this army is going to be cleaned up at the same time. Classic shades in. It shades into the natural. And 19 drones. This is not insignificant, by the way. Like, this is a surprising amount of damage. 21, 22, 23, 24. Can we get 25 drones? We can. 25. Crazy damage. 26. Again, that should not have happened. Like, 26 worker kills. Like, again, it was a very messy fight from Shin. It looks like when Shin was attacking across the map, he didn't notice the Dark Shrine and he didn't notice the DTs swiping. So his detection was very late. And those two Dark Templar, they were getting so many free hits in. So it was a very, very messy defense here from Shin as very late reaction. Despite that, Shin is still ahead. Shin still has a massive army, and Classic is still on 2 bases. So, on the one hand, like, again, this is a surprising amount of damage that should never have happened. On the other hand, it's not good enough. it's just not good enough here for Classic. This isn't enough to recover from his earlier losses, to recover from his deficit, to make up for his lack of third. It's still not enough. Oh, we're gonna try to turtle up? Okay. This will allow SHIN to drone up to 80, if he so chooses. At least 73, like 73, 74 drones. SHIN can get up to 4 base saturation. So SHIN made 3 spores, he saw. Well, then that's just, I guess, an oversight from SHIN to not get an overseer with the main army. Then that's assuming that comment is correct in stating that the spores were thrown down as SHIN was across the map and not as the DT was pushing into the bases. So my comment would change to, instead of him not noticing and recognizing it, would be an oversight for not having detection with his main army. I would actually have to double check, because if you're saying that spores were already ready when the push came, then we could have seen SHIN also reposition a spore forward to defend. So it would have been either one or the other. I can't eat tomatoes. Oh no! Eva! What happened to the tomatoes? The thought of Terran is overbearing on my conscience. My mouth isn't working. Oh, it's over, Pappy. It's over. Oh no. Shout out to Eva, by the way. You played well today. You played well. I was very impressed with game 1 of the ZVZ against Eggs. The mutas, baby, the mutas. It's okay. Next week we'll make sure that you play against ByuN again. Cab, baby, cab. Este iba. Can you give me only Protoss? Just for you. I'll reach out. I message Cristiano. I message him. Be like, yo, I know it's been a while since you played in Tuna Cup, but Eba really wants to play against you. He asked for you specifically, Pap. Yeah. Well, okay, cool. Let's go. Mute. Never again. Jesus. Oh my god, the force fields. I mean, we're going like mono battle. I say mono battle. We're going pure adept immortal at this point. How many immortals do we have? 10? 7. 7 immortals, 11 sentries, 14 adepts. It's a very beefy, very bulky army here, especially when it comes to pushing into this choke point. We got plenty of force field energy, by the way. Plenty of force fields. So SHIN cannot freely push in, but at the same time, Classic cannot freely move out. If he tries, like, surrounds will shut this down. So we'll see. It's a very robust army, I will say that. Behind this, Hive is on the way. I believe this should be for sentries. Sorry, let's say sentries. For Vipers. I mean, Vipers would be ideal to abduct into Blinding Cloud. Like, the anti-air here is quite limited. And SHIN is being a little bit greedy. He's not going Viper, he's going Ultra. Like there is no answer for Viper tech here. Like, there's no Blink Stalkers, there's no Phoenixes, nothing in the sky. Like, Ultras is crazy. Like, hold on. Just for perspective, we see like 10 immortals and we're going Ultra. He's dropping. Let's go. Massive Bane. The Bane Rain of the army. Send it, Pappy. Yeah, massive Baneling connections. Every sentry goes down. I still want to emphasize though that SHIN sees Massive Mortal and his answer is Ultra Tech. I want to emphasize that. Like, that's that's crazy, by the way. That's crazy. It's fine. He breaks through anyway. Cleans up the army. He gets a full surround. The Pain Rain. And with that, Shin will claim game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Will take a lead in the series. With ending the game with some flair. Definitely some flair there. Going for the Baneling drop on top of the army. I mean, it goes into what we just said, how we were discussing, how we were stating how, like, hey, if we just, like, if we go Hive into Viper Tech, like, there's no anti-air. Similarly, there's no anti-air against drop lords either, right? Like, there's nothing to stop the drop lords from just coming in and raining on everything. Again, Classic, his army was not built for a long and late game. I should emphasize that as well. There's a reason why Classic's army was so quirky, is because the game was not meant to last that long. Classic was building up into an all-in, and he was crippled early on, and that's why he was forced into a very awkward composition and awkward game state. Don't look at this and think like, well, yo, did Classic really think that he could go to like a 4-race economy with like Sentry and Mortal Adept? Like, no, he didn't. That was never the plan. The plan was never to be stuck with this kind of army and try to get into a longer game. Like, he was just, again, he was stuck with it. GG well played. With that, we're now getting to game 2. And we'll see how, if this series will conclude, or we can keep this going. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Sanctuary 3, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg representing onside, leading the series 1-0. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss player himself, we have the South Korean Protoss. Representing Virtus Pro, it is Classic. Ultras versus Immortals. Me and Mike, is that you? True. Unironically. The return of Mio. The dream, papi, the dream. I want to say me and Mike, did I see him log in? Like, maybe at the start of the year? Like, I think it was either that or I saw something with me and Micah relatively recently, and it caught me by surprise. But obviously it didn't bear fruit, didn't lead to anything. But I miss my Mir. I miss him. Let me just double check. But I want to say he was like laddering, like maybe like when the PTR was announced or something. Let's see. Yeah, he played some games in July. So last month. There we go. I knew I wasn't crazy. He logged in, played some games in July, and then left. I don't know if Mio still plays Age of Empires. I know he was playing AoE 4 or competing in AoE 4 for a little bit, but I don't know if that's still the case. Oh, my apologies. Sorry. I will fix up the. I was reminiscing, but I was reminiscing. Time's gone by. We'll fix up the player names. Let's go. Anyway, we're flying across the map. Let's go again. Early pull here by SHIN. Does pull the boys. Either he will kill Classic or he'll die trying. Classic does pull. He does poke in, and he goes in and he sees. He's like, hold on. Where are the boys? Where are the probes, Pappy? Where are the probes? As again, SHIN, he has arrived. He's going for the pylon. If he kills the pylon, he will end the game. He'll end the game. Pylon is surrounded. More pylons being thrown down. And I believe the Adept should not spawn in. Should not be able to. Yeah, the Adept will not arrive. Down goes the pylon. Gateway's depowered. Second pylon is going to fall. There's one pylon left. I mean, this pylon will finish. True. It will finish up. The Adept will arrive. The Adept is coming. It's coming. And can Classic hold with one Adept? I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Yeah, all the boys are going down. And with that SHIN, he's snowballed out of control. He will claim the series. As there's only a singular Adept, and he cannot deal with all these lings. Oh no, he's running out of space. No, he's running out. Oh my god. Does shade away. There's more units here in position. Mining is denied. One more shot. Oh, Adept goes down, and that's it. There's nothing left. GG gets called. And SHIN, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, Shin. He will claim the series. He will advance on to the grand finals. My condolences to Classic, as I mentioned. ZV, like Protoss players, have been struggling quite heavily for the past like 4, 5, 6 weeks. Been having a hard time. Shin turning the tables though. Again, usually we expect the Protoss player to build up into like 2 base all-ins and 2 base aggression and or something of that nature. Here, Shin, he was the one to be hyper aggressive instead. I do like the idea of Shin being hyper greedy in game 1 and just going for the reverse opposite here in game number 2. Remember in game 1, Shin, he went 3 hatchery before pool. Like, it was crazy. Like, Shin was so greedy in game 1, and here just hyper aggressive instead. And Shin having fun. Shin having fun here. And with that, we're now getting into the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Shin and herO. Let's go. We're getting ready for those finals. Catching up. Classic made a mistake by picking Protoss. True. Smooch. I mean, it shouldn't last too much longer here. Like, we're expecting a patch, like, end of September, coming into October, sort of, like, period of time. Is we're expecting something else. But until then, we have our 2 finalists. It's going to be herO versus Shin. We're going to be going on a short break, though. Going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we will have our raffle, and we'll have the grand finals. See you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back here to the grand finals. It's grand finales here of the sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC number 143. We here returned with said finals. It's been an intense broadcast so far, relatively short actually, making it all the way to the finals in 2.5 hours. But regardless, we have our two finalists ready here. It is going to be SHIN versus herO. They're going to be facing off in that best of 5 matchup. Bearing in mind as well that we do have a random raffle to conduct. I believe that will be taking place afterwards, after the finals, unless we have some time now. We might have a bit of time as we have to wait a little bit here for the players to get ready for us. So until then, for those who are unaware, we do have a random raffle available here every single week. Every single week we do have a $5 raffle here for our players. It's a way to incentivize participation, bearing in mind that to be eligible for the random raffle, you have to have competed and played in tonight's tournament and played all of your matches as well. No forfeits. If there was a forfeit, then you are ineligible for the raffle. As you can see here, everyone did play out their matches, everyone played out their games, and this week, out of 17 players this week, one player does walk away with an extra 5 USD. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. But this week, congratulations to, I think a new winner here, to Camo. GG, well played. Congratulations to Camo for claiming the $5, the 5 USD. Shout out to herO being the runner-up, followed by Percival, Classic, by Captain Fish and Mini Zerg UA. We had our runner-ups here. Quickly looking, who did Camo go down to? Just double checking. Just double checking. Camo, he did play against, let's have a look. Classic, there you go. Classic took down Camo 2-0. Took him down 2-0 in the first round. So may have gone down in the first round, but hey, still earned some prize money here. GG. GG, well played. Este Camo. As now we can jump into said grand finals. God damn it. So fun fact, we were all in the lobby and hero's like, oh, like let's go. And then Shin's like, let's go. And hero's like, okay, we can start. And I'm like, yeah, we can start, guys. And then we're all just looking at each other. herO was the lobby host, by the way. And then he's like, oh, sorry. We're just like awkwardly waiting. He's like, I didn't realize. Oh, my bad. And we start. But there we go. Here we go. We're jumping into the grand finals. The first game of the finals here in spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Rainfall. We have the red Protoss player. We have the best Protoss player in the entire world. Representing T1, it is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg, representing Team Onside. It is SHIN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our best of 5 grand finals match. Let's go. Now again, when it comes to this matchup, when it comes to these players even as well, herO is the best Protoss in the world. herO has still been struggling in this matchup. I would say that SHIN is pretty heavily favored here. We saw Classic struggle. We'll see what herO brings to the table. Now again, herO, he can take maps, he can still take series off of these players. I think in recent times Solar has been a little bit more susceptible to some of the shenanigans of players like herO, Classic, and MaxPax. But we'll see. Like herO, he can be very diverse in his builds, very diverse, and very diverse in his play as well. As I mentioned at the beginning of the previous series, it's going to be on herO hiding his builds, keeping his plan hidden, and catching SHIN with his pants down. That's kind of what we're more or less reliant upon here. And we'll see if we can pull this off. And at least make a series out of this. That's all that I want, back. That's all that I want. But now gate expands. Again, SHIN going hatch gas pool, forced to take the unnatural natural. Outside of that, everything's looking as it should. Looking as it should. Huh. Again, we are going to be opening up and settling in. For the most part, we're going to be waiting for hero's tech of choice, whether he opens up Stargate, Twilight Council, or Robo. We're keeping an eye on that tech, or at least, I guess, technically to Forge, which would be crazy, but tech that could happen, I guess. We saw it at a Classic, so I don't want to rule it out. For now, hero does open up with the early Stalker. This is a little bit abnormal. Usually you open up Double Adept to be active across the map and to harass. Going for the earlier Stalker does mean that hero can shut down this Overlord and ensure that Shin is denied scouting. Speaking of, he's actually rallied across the map. Oh, this is bold. Very bold. Sentry follow-up? Okay. I mean, with this, as we mentioned, the goal here is to hunt down the Overlord, and hero has arrived. The first Overlord taking a lot of hits. Queen moving in, the Lings as well. The Overlord it might even just go down. It's getting low. Yeah, it's getting very low here, and it looks like one more shot, and the Overlord will fall. Massive pickup, takes down the Overlord, supply block Shin, and the Stalker can walk away. And waddle away. Again, you saw that initially Shin believed that he could make it to the pillar, and it was a very late realization that he couldn't, and then he turned back around, so there was extra hits that did occur there. Extra damage. Stalker does walk back home. And so far, a nice start here for hero, as he will hunt down both Overlords. So very nice pickups here. And behind this use that I see a Forge in a Fast +1 into a Robo. If you remember, I assumed that this is the build that we were going to be seeing from Classic. If you remember in the last series when Classic went Forge, first I was like, oh, it looks like a Soul Train, looks like an Immortal All-In. And then Classic took like a left turn and then did like a U-turn and spun around, and it was crazy. Where Classic went +1 into Twilight Council, into Glaives, then into Robo, and then into Immortal Production. Like it was a little bit more messy. Oh my god! As I assumed that this would be +1 into Sentry Immortal, this is going to be +1 into Colossus, into Immortal Colossus. Okay. Very unique. Very, very unique here. Now my question becomes, is this still a 2-base all-in with +1? Is it going to be like 1 Immortal into 1 Colossus? Like no shot we expand from here, right? Like the third is going to be very, very delayed if that's the case. Is it worth getting a Colossus now instead of another Immortal? I mean, bearing in mind, when it comes to the context of the patch that we're in, remember, the Colossus was buffed. The Colossus now does more damage against non-light units, and I would say that specifically that helps a little bit more against Terran, against like Marine Marauder, against the Marauder specifically. That's where the Colossus does more damage. Technically, now the Colossus does more damage against Roaches. True, it does more damage against Roaches than it did before. So that's like the logic behind rushing Colossus like this. But is hero really going to defend and take a third? If we're going to defend and turtle up, I prefer Shin's position. We'll see. We'll see if this is real or this is fake. Extendable lance, it's real. Yeah, hero's going to turtle. Oh boy. Okay. So hero's going to be more defensive. He's going to build up back at home. Across the map, we do see Shin. He is still not fully aware. He's committing into a more roach-heavy style. Here comes the first Colossus. Hero's pushing. Reveals the Colossus. Shin knows. Yeah, Shin's not fully aware. Here comes... Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say here comes hero, and I mean, Shin is reacting here with Lings, Roaches, Ravages now morphing in as well. Does squeeze out a couple of workers, and hero backs off. So, there's some pros and there are some cons to what's happening. Hero is successfully baiting Shin into like some messy production. Ideally, Shin, if he had known how passive and how defensive Hero's been up until this point, would have been greedier, right? Drone up to 3-base saturation faster, a faster 4th base, and going up to 73 drones faster as well. The droning and the expansions from Shin have been a little bit delayed because of how uneasy this game has been so far. Like, because of how unusual Hero's playing. So this is where, like, newer styles and newer builds, when they first are, like, revealed like this, and when they first kind of like hit like the pro level, like they can find some success just because the opposing player might not be fully aware as to how much they can get away with, as to how aggressive you really plan on being, and what we can really, and how far we can drone, right? So the setup here has been a little bit messy from SHIN, but the army itself is still being quite robust. Behind this, we're going for the Spire. We're going for the proxy Spire, papi. Let's go. It's crazy. Left muter's going to be on the way. Anti-air is quite limited initially, but we can see that behind this, herO is going for the Stalkers. But because there was no Stargate opener, the idea of trying to respond with Phoenixes is non-existent here. That's the logic behind going into muters. Now, the concern, though, is that SHIN goes into muters, cripples the economy, and then forces the all-in. We're loading into Rainfall. This map favors shorter games, has a very short rush distance by ground, pushes and aggression hits very, very hard on this map. So we might end up in that situation where SHIN moves out with his muters, kills a bunch of probes, and herO just sends it. Yeah, War Prism's on the way. The muters are coming. herO's still taking a fourth, though. He's taking a fourth base. Blink is still not yet done. Muters, they will hit the natural. Nothing in position. No battery. No cannon. No stalkers. And how many probes do we get? So far, 4 probes going to be... Oh, the prism! Oh my god. Yeah, the War Prism is going to be chased down as well. Massive pickoff. And herO's been triggered. Yeah, herO, he moves out across the map. He has to do something. As this is crippling damage. Back at home, SHIN is maxed. herO's playing into his hands. herO's moving out with only half his army. No, there's nothing to support this. There's no prism, there's no sentries, no force field. They're coming in from behind, and herO's completely caught out. He's completely caught out here. The pants are down, the Colossus are exposed, and herO will lose everything. The Immortals, the Colossus, the probes across the map as well. As these Colossus, they will not get away. We'll lose all 3. And that's game. Now we get the sentries. I was about to say, like, again, if we had sentries earlier, we could have maybe preserved some of the army, but again, it was a very messy assault there from herO. And herO has nothing. He has nothing left. The economy has been crippled. Sure, he has a 4th expansion, but he lost all the Immortals and all the Colossus. He lost all of his high-tech units, which take a very long time to replace. Meanwhile, SHIN, he's remaxed. He's already rebuilt. He's already remaxed. Again, this was a really quirky build out of herO, and again, this also goes against there's some weird people out there that have like a perception that players aren't trying different things on the new patch. That's not true. Like herO, Classic, Max Packs, they've all been trying different things for the past like 6 weeks. They've all, you even saw Classic do some weird stuff in his series. They've all been trying for the past 6 weeks. They all do different stuff just to figure out what can work, and yeah, it's it's been a struggle. So I appreciate that we saw something unique here out of herO, but we're still shut down. I do feel like it was heavily reliant on forcing SHIN to have less workers and maybe be overly cautious. That's usually how these builds go. You're hoping that they're in their uncertainty, that they play it efficiently, but GG gets called, and SHIN, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. And GG, well played. SHIN does take a lead in the series. Again, a quirky build out of herO, going for the Forge into Robo, into +1, into Immortal, which we've seen plenty of times, but then into the Bay, and then into early Colossus. That was the unique part about what herO did here, building up the early Colossus count. As you mentioned, it felt like the goal for herO was to try to force some inefficiencies out of SHIN, but SHIN, he still was able to build up quite nicely, and going for the Spire is the ideal, right? Just because it was so little to deal with the muters. So little. With late blink and no Stargate, does allow for muters to kind of have their way with herO. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into washouts. Let's go. We're loading into washout and spawning in the top right corner of washouts. We have the... Oh, hold on. I'll fix up the player names this time. I got you. We have the South Korean Protoss, the Red Protoss for T1. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing onside. It is SHIN. leading the series and looking to extend his lead. We'll see if herO can stop him and slow him down. We'll see if we can have that back and forth. Ideally, we get a game 4, we get a game 5, where we have that back and forth series, but the pressure is now on herO as he moves out once again to block the expansion. I think when it comes to herO's build of choice, like, we can't rule anything out. Like, I was definitely not thinking Colossus when we saw game 1. I was leaning more towards Immortal, just an Immortal based all-in, Immortal Sentry. And again, Colossus is meant to be better against Roach Ravager based compositions now, but it wasn't just pure Roach Ravager, it was Muta, right? Like, we saw as soon as Shin realized that Colossus were being amassed, it's like, oh, okay, I can just go Spire, I can go Muta here, and I can have a better response to what you have. So a very nice reaction out of Shin. Shutting down the attempted Colossus play. And with that, we're getting ready for game number 2. As once again, Shin is forced to take the unnatural natural. From this position, Shin, he may start to spread creep a little bit faster across the map, and that can lead to some more aggressive builds. If we see herO cutting corners and being greedy, specifically I mean like Stargate Opener into, like, say Void Ray into Fleet Beacon, if that would be the case, then Shin might be able to set up into like a more aggressive response. We have been seeing a lot of German taxis as of late against double Stargate Void Ray. Another. Just droning, just saturating. Once again, we do see herO open up with the early Stalker. He did so last game, and he was able to kill 2 Overlords with that Stalker. This time, Stargate Opener. Okay, much more standard out of herO. Open Stargate. From here, we can go Oracle or Void Ray. Both have their place. And they both have their place. From here, we're building up. Oh, Phoenix first. Okay. Does open Phoenix. I mean, the goal here is the same as Void Ray, is to hunt down the Overlords. We have been seeing a little bit of mass Phoenix play out of our players. I mean, we've seen everything, again, over the past, like, 2 months. So we'll see if herO commits into that. And now the first Phoenix is revealed. And we're going for the Oracle follow-up. Oh, supply block though. That's a huge one. Shit, herO, where's the pylon? A very late pylon. Massive supply block cancels the Oracle, getting a second pylon as well. Oof. That's very unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. You can see herO spending his money, getting his gases. Like, just doing what he can. Now going second Stargate. It's going to be a messy follow-up. By going double Stargate, this could be Mass Oracle. Yeah, based on the rally here, it looks like Mass Oracle out of herO. If this goes unscouted, and if the defending Zerg player has minimal queens and minimal spores, then Mass Oracle can kill. Like, this can snowball out of control. Without scouting. And remember, that's why we have the Phoenix, right? The Phoenix is denying all the scouting, denying all the vision. This has potential. And this goes into what we said at the beginning of this series, is that right now a lot of the builds in the PvZ meta are heavily reliant on hiding your build from your opponent, and so far herO's doing so, right? Like, Shin has no idea what's going on. And Shin is even going double Evo chain. Well, what? Double upgrades? Interesting. It's going double upgrades, 1-1. Are we going Ling into Ultra? Oh boy. if Shin doesn't get a Hydrogen, and if he stays on a low queen count, here he can pull this off. Can pull this off. The lair is now on the way. Again, the lair is late because we spent a bunch of gas on double upgrades. Shin's in trouble. Shin, he's only got 5 queens. Speaking of, we're getting up to 5 oracles. Into 6. Still building on more oracles. Behind this, Forge is on the way for +1. I believe this is usually oracle into zealots, into chargelots. We'll see if that's the case here. Still building on more. Now we're about to reveal ourselves. So far, it's 5 oracles. Ling's gonna go down, and again, the queen count is still quite low. It's still low queen counts. We're just avoiding all the lings, going straight for the middle line. No spore. Yeah, only one spore per base. 3 queens in position. Where are we headed? Third. We're going for the 3rd base. 1 queen gets caught. A spore gets focused down. Quick reaction though. Very nice reaction as Shin pulls away so quickly. He'll still lose 2 queens. Still lose 2 spores and 2 queens and 2 drones. Makes his way over, but hasn't killed many workers though. Now we have 2 spores per base. This is not good enough. Yeah, this is not good enough here. Very nice last section reaction from Shin to pull away the workers, to preserve his mineral line, to only lose 2 queens. And that was it. Like, that was meant to be the big surprise factor. Behind this, yes, hero's making more oracles, but now it's no longer a surprise, right? Now Shin is mentally prepared. And Shin is going for the Hydrogen. Now, this is a late Hydrogen. It is late because of the 2-2 upgrades are on the way. That is going to hurt Shin. There's still a window. The oracles are coming. Only 1 sport. No shot. Only 1 sport. The golds. The queens, they can just be picked off. Shin under reaction. Yeah, under reaction by Shin. He will lose every queen and the spore. 1 spore is... That's unacceptable. Oh, God. Even here, there's only 1. What? Shin, he didn't take it seriously. Yeah, I didn't take it seriously. At the same time, though, 20 probes. Okay, we're getting messy. We're getting messy. 21 probe kills across the map. On the one hand, Shin may have lost all of his queens, but he saved all of his workers and he cripples the economy. So it's fine. I'll say Shin had a really messy defense back at home. Very messy, very lackluster. But it's fine, because he kills 27 probes. It's fine. No. Yeah, you can see the spores now repositioning. Hydrogen is now done. Hydras are amassing as well. Shin was almost punished, but not quite. Nah, not quite, pappy. You can see the oracles don't really have much energy. They do pick up some Hydras, which is nice, but they can't really get much more than that. There's just no energy, right? There's no energy to keep going. Behind this is going to be a Zealous Archon heavy composition, but remember, because of the 2-2 upgrades, this is not just pure Hydra. It's going to be Hydra Ling. Ideally, it's Hydra Ling Bane. Yeah, there you go. Baneliness is done. Baneling's speed has not been researched yet. But the Ling Bane cancel with the Hydra against the Zealots. Oof. I mean, now we have a solid amount of spores. And here is hurting. Shin, he's already reached peak economy. Shin is up to 86 drones. That's an insane drone count for Shin. Wait, he's still droning? Shin, we're getting past 90 drones. Happy, calm down. We're okay. We don't need to keep going. 93 drones. Jesus. I mean, I guess it means that we can morph in more spores, I guess. At this point, we don't need them. We don't need more. Shin is about to max. Now, because of the high drone count, this also means that Shin, he'll have a slightly smaller army, as he now has extra supply invested into workers. That is true. But due to the amount of damage that was dealt earlier, it might not matter. Like Shin, he might just have too much anyway. As with that, herO cannot expand. He cannot expand, cannot get the fourth. herO rotates around. herO does not have... he has no storm. I'm like, oh, with some well-placed storms, like herO can win this, can maybe like take a fight. Storm was never researched. So yeah, storms are not a factor. It's just Archons. They are much more limited. The Banelings are rolling in. They do get on top of the Zealots. Oh my god. The Banelings, they smash in. Hydra's overwhelmed. Mothership does come in. We have Cloak. Yeah, Cloak is activated, and because of Cloak as well, herO will win this fight. Here he claims the fight. He cleans up all the Hydras. herO gonna keep going. He can do it. Keep going. We can't let SHIN recover. Send it, Pappy. Send it. But again, clutch Cloak out of herO. Save his high-tech units. Now moving in. Again, hero's all in. He has to end the game with this push. He has to end the game with this. We gotta keep going. Oh no, the Void Rays are going down. The Archons as well. hero's running out of steam. And with that, SHIN holds. herO made it close towards the end. Did make it close. I mean, even here, baits out the Hydras. 3, 4 Hydras going down. SHIN is being very inefficient. And Storm now begins. Unfortunately for herO, again, SHIN, he's on 5 bases. 5 bases, 86 drones. He's still making more drones, by the way. I don't forget. Getting up to 91. SHIN. Uh-oh. SHIN is lacking Banelings. Zealot run-by is going to be a little bit harder to deal with. hero's holding on to them. I feel like focusing building spores was a mistake. I mean, so the purpose of focusing down queens and focusing on the spores is to make sure that the Zerg player has no anti-air, so then you can snowball out of control with the follow-up. I would have said that herO would have been in a much stronger position if we didn't have the Ling run-by. Remember that Ling run-by killed us at 21 probes? It's been 29 probes in total. But that Ling run-by was insane. If it wasn't for that, like, herO, he wouldn't have been in a bad place, to be honest. But it was a brutal run-by. As hero's distracted, SHIN moves in, baits out the storms. Yeah, 3 storms do land. And we'll see if SHIN can break herO. He's getting some of the high Templar once again. Yeah, 1 Templar does full. There's still a couple of storms left. Jesus. So there we go. Does launch forward. Once again, herO, he is trying to hold on here. Oh, the Mothership. Yeah, Mothership finally actually pulls back to the battery. The Mothership pulls back. Mothership survives. The Mothership holds once again, just barely. Now, can herO stabilize? Can he stabilize? SHIN has been throwing away a lot of units, and behind this SHIN, he does have a Hive. He's working on +3. Do we have an Ultra Cavern? We do. Okay. I was going to say that if there's no Ultra Cavern, then I'd be more concerned for SHIN, but he is taking up an Ultras, which is a good thing. He does need those Ultras. Impressive that herO has been able to somewhat stabilize on 4 bases with a boosted economy. herO moves out. I do like this. The idea of herO trying to break the economy or at least do some counter damage before Ultra Tech is crucial. Oh, but the Banelings. Yeah, not again. Massive connections. Banelings, they pop up in the mineral line. At the same time, herO will take down the base. Oh, miss rally. Yeah, a bit of an awkward rally here as herO, once again, we're in a position where herO has to end the game with this. He has to keep pushing back at home. hero's losing more bases. Is he going to recall? herO recalls. Does save the northern expansion, but Bappy, we just lost 42 probes. Like, herO, we can't macro out of this. Like, that's not gonna that's how many high Templar do we have? 12? 14 Templar. That's a lot of storms. And again, this army could actually win a fight against Lingbane Hydra. The issue is Ultras. Ultras are coming. The Ultras are coming. herO, he does not, let's say, the expansion. So again, His recall wasn't really for anything. Does still lose a base. Storms are late. But again, that's 14 High Templar. And herO, can he break through the Hydras before the Ultras arrive? Oh, the Mothership. The Mothership goes down. It's almost pure High Templar. It's a pure High Templar army. Jesus. There's 2 Archons, there's 1 Immortal, and then non-stop Templar. The Ultras arrive now. The Ultras coming in. He wants hugs. Oh, is distracted by the Archon. Jesus. Gets 1. 1 swipe goes off. Gets a miscontrol out of SHIN. Regardless of, yeah, then here comes the next Ultras. GG gets called, and SHIN takes a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. SHIN, he will take a lead here. Again, a pretty messy game from both sides. Like, it was a little bit back and forth. herO went for a cheeky build going into Mass Oracle and had some potential, of course, but it all went south for herO when he moved that across the map. And when SHIN, he went for the Link counterattack. He went for the Link run by a Link counterattack. He killed 21 probes, critical damage at the 3rd base. herO had a late reaction, had a late response. He had nothing home to defend, so from that moment, herO was playing from behind. He was playing from behind. I will say that SHIN did overextend a couple of times. That did allow herO to take some better fights and to be able to threaten some of the bases. But that was, he was reliant on SHIN making mistakes. And SHIN, he was, again, making some mistakes there, which allowed herO to recover, to bounce back, to get his 4-base setup up and running, but still didn't quite have enough. And with that, let's go. Let us go. It's time for the matchup. It's time to play our main races, because spawning in the top right hand corner of Blackrock, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red, usually is Protoss, but you know what? He's embracing his main race, playing Zerg. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing on side. It is SHIN. Okay. We're locked in. So when it comes to herO Zerg, for those of you that are maybe unaware when it comes to like social media, or when it comes to what our players have been speaking on and speaking about outside of their games, herO, he made a post like a week ago at this point, talking about ZVP, talking about how he doesn't think that there's a strategic win to win. There's no way to win strategically against Zerg in the current patch. He's been trying. He hasn't found anything. So he did say that he was going to start playing Zerg instead, and start playing ZVZ instead of PVZ. This is something that herO did state like a week ago at this point. Since then, I haven't really seen much of herO's Zerg versus Zerg, so I don't really know how good it is. I know that herO's Terran is around 6k. It's around 6k. In my opinion, herO's Zerg is weaker than his Terran, or at least it used to be. But I would imagine, since making that statement, that herO's been practicing his Zerg. I imagine he's been working on it. We'll see. Pull first out of SHIN. herO going hatch first instead. So greedier build out of herO, a more safer build out of SHIN. So we're going to be opening up. "37 Templar all at once, tell the Ultra, you shall not pass." That's a tickle. Oh no. Oh no. Sometimes Protoss recall just for the vibes. herO beat SHIN's Protoss a few days ago. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's something. But I don't really know what to expect from herO's Zerg, to be honest. Don't really know what to expect. Whether he plays aggressively, whether he plays standard, whether he goes for 2-base all-ins, 3-base play. I'm unfamiliar with herO's tendencies, so we'll find out together. For now, standard opener, hatch gas pull into link speed. SHIN, remember, he went for a later hatchery, earlier pull, so SHIN went for technically a more inefficient build. Usually this means that SHIN is going to be walling off and playing 2 bases. Why does this mean he's walling off? Because herO has link speed and SHIN doesn't. So the idea of SHIN trying to expand and get a 3rd base isn't really viable, because if he tries, then speedlings should stop him from expanding. So SHIN, you should be walling off. Should be walling off here and setting up. Meanwhile, hero's going for a link foot. Oh, he's just doubling down. Yeah, hero's going to double down. Hero did scout. Hero did confirm that it was a later hatchery. So hero's all in. It's all or nothing. And again, SHIN should be starting his wall. He should also be skipping the Bailey nest. True. SHIN should be skipping.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
God damn it, SHIN. Overlord goes down. SHIN is supply blocked. Uh-oh. Hero. Can he do it? Yeah, Hero's going to be flooding. SHIN's making 4 overlords. He's going lair first. He's going lair first. He needs the wall. Yeah, the wall is the priority. But SHIN doesn't know. Hero's coming. There's no Link Scout from SHIN. Yeah, no Link Scout behind this. He's trying to wall off now, but there's still a gap. It's still very low. It's a late wall, so low HP. Low HP wall. Lings are put in. And they can knock down the Roach Warren. The Roach Warren can be targeted down. We got to target the Roach Warren. Hero. The Roach Warren. We can just focus it down. They're going off the Queen. It does break through the Queen. Now we get better service area. Roach Warren will fall as well. There's a secondary wall. Yeah, there is a secondary wall here, buying a little bit more time. And do we have a transfuse? Not yet. Yeah, no transfuse yet. Lings are putting in. They get us around. They get us around. 1, 2 Queens will fall. And from here, Hero, can he bots into the mineral line? Can he cripple the economy? He has to kill. He has to kill. And with that, looks like he will. Yeah, Hero's done it. Hero, he has done it. He has broken through. GG. There's the question mark. GG gets called. And Hero, he's found the solution to PvZ. Just don't play Protoss. Don't play it. Hero takes the game. GG, well played. Hero, he does fight back. He does put a point on the board. Again, Protoss players they have not found a solution to PvZ yet, but Hero has found the solution. Pappy just plays Zerg as we're getting to game number 4. Let's go. Let us go. As we're getting ready here for game number 4. SHIN. Oh, there's some banter going on right now. Ah, no. Hero's like, ZBZ really is just a gamble, and SHIN is doing the crying face emoji. But here we go, we're loading into our next game. And fun fact, Hero, he did not pick Zerg. He did not pick Terran either, by the way. He picked random. So this is just a heads up. He did pick random, and he landed on something different here. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of Sanctuary 3, we have the red Terran player. Again, he rolled random, landed on Terran, did begin the comeback here in the series, and can he keep going? Can he go all the way? It is Hero for T1. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player representing onside, leading the series 2-1. And 1 game away from claiming the series, it is SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into game number 4. And Hero, he has begun the comeback with his ZBZ. What about his TVZ? Now, I did mention this earlier, how I do rate Hero's Terran quite highly, but I rate it highly against Protoss. Like, Hero, he was doing a little bit of a Clem last year, where Clem, if you remember, he would play Protoss against Terran, where Hero would... What are you doing? He's going CC first. He's an animal. He's going CC first with a CC on the high ground to hide it, which means it's going to be delayed because he has to float so far. He has to float so far away to land the CC. He's an animal. I see. God, no. I mean, okay. So a couple things are going on here. What is the reasoning as to the building placements? It's because drone scouting is not a thing. And remember, he's playing random. Like, SHIN doesn't know what's going on, and the Overlord takes a long time to go further into the main base. So back at home, SHIN, he once again does go for, this time, a hatch gas pool. Does open up hatch gas pool. Overlord is on the way. Behind this, Hero does open up double racks, and I believe Hero, he has late gases. He should be making Marines, and because this Overlord is going to be baited into going further into the main base, there's a very high chance that these Marines will kill the Overlord and supply block SHIN early on. So I believe SHIN should get supply blocked here as Marines are amassing. And again, SHIN wants to go in because he wants to know what race herO is playing. Remember, herO played random. He picked random. The Overlord is going further in. Sees nothing at the ramp. Marine is revealed. He knows. Yeah, he pulls away. I think this is a little bit premature. I think this is a little bit premature here. The Overlord, I think it should still go down there. It's going to be close. We have to get to the pillar. We got to get to the pillar. We got to get there. Lings are coming to support. Yeah, Zerglings are coming. The Overlord, can he get away? Can he get away? Second Marine has arrived. We start step forward. Third Marine is on the way as well. And the Overlord, it looks like it will go down. It's close, but doesn't get to the pillar. Yeah, it doesn't get away. SHIN is supply blocked. Lings are going to be thrown away as well. They didn't get here in time. Not a bad start for herO. herO gets 2 free Lings and the Overlord. SHIN is still supply blocked, by the way. Still supply blocked. There we go, now breaking out. Behind this, herO is going for an early stim timing. Early stim. Not into a 3-max, though, into what looks to be a 2-on-1. So 2-on-1 out of herO. Let's go. Why is he not walling? As he mentioned, he's not walling because he's playing random, not Terran. So there was a bigger reason for the Overlord to go further inside of the main. I get it, if you're a pick Terran, then this build wouldn't make any sense, and it'd actually be pretty bad for herO. So like context matters. Hopefully, I made that clear. That the reason why the Overlord went in as far as it did is because herO did play random, not Terran. So this build that herO went for is a specifically random build, not Terran build. For the random race. Yeah. From here, though. From here, we're getting to +1. Stim is on the way. Into +1. herO's pulling a bit of a ByuN here. We'll see. So usually you want to wait for your medevacs. ByuN would usually push before he has his medevacs ready. So this will still take some time. SHIN going muta. This is greedy. SHIN before the third base, we're rushing into the lair, rushing into 2 base muta. This is very greedy here. We need Ling Bane more than anything. There's no fast Eva chamber, no +1 carapace. There's a window where herO can get some damage done with this, but what is important is that SHIN knows, right? SHIN, he just went for the scouts, even here.
Terrible damage.
God damn it. But SHIN is fully aware of the 2-on-1, he knows. And SHIN, he needs Ling Bane. Or he needs to build up his Ling count at least. Building up that Ling count. herO's pushing. And I believe SHIN should have enough now. Yeah, he has plenty. He has plenty of Lings. The queen count is very low, actually. Only 3 queens? Low queen counts. Might have enough Zerglings here, depending on the angle of attack, depending on the positioning. herO gets spotted. herO's unaware of the 3rd base location, so he's rotating over towards what he believes is the 3rd, but there is none. We'll get an active tumor. And this is buying time. This is buying time for the mutas. This is better for SHIN. The mutas are coming. The mutas are amassing. Oh. And with that, we're going for the medevacs. Yeah, the medevacs under fire. He's going to get out of here. No, he gets caught. He gets caught by the slow zone. herO has to pull away. Tank is exposed. And the medevac falls. Massive pick up here. Medevac goes down. herO, he will lose everything. He'll lose the entire army. And with that, SHIN snowballs out of control. Pulls back the weakened mutas. Cleans up the tank. herO is down to a handful of Marines. Oh. And from here, SHIN can just drone. He's not, though. He's making more Lings. SHIN is going for the bust. You just slip into the main. Here we go. 18, 19 banelings now on the way. Getting it to 21. We're going for the bus. We're going for the bane bus here. Shin is all in, and herO without that tank, losing that first tank here is brutal. He has no defense. He's trying to muster up a defense here. Trying to set up. Turret's being thrown down. Tank is going to be able to siege, but alas, the wall has been broken. Tank is on siege. He's getting caught with his pants down. The pants are down. Mine shot goes off. Banelings, they chase down the bio. Decent kiting here by herO, but he just doesn't have the numbers. Not enough Marines. Again, the stutter stepping, the micro. He controls well, but he will still lose everything. The Lings, they snowball out of control of the natural. 17 SCV kills. This is still too much. As SHIN doubles back around. Getting up to 20 SCVs. Behind this, herO doesn't have a third. Yeah, no third CC. There's no way here to build up into the mid game. Not without a third base. SHIN backs off. And SHIN chills. Now we can drone, saturate, build up Link Bane, get into meter play as well. hero's completely all in, and SHIN has plenty to defend. As long as SHIN morphs in banelings, bearing in mind that he doesn't have any defensive banelings ready for this. There we go. Morphing in a couple. Oh, my apologies, I'm blind to the third CC. If he's got a third, then he can build up into a longer game. My apologies. It can. Yeah, Bailey's they smash in, getting on top of the tank. Massive Bailey connections, Marines, they're all being cleaned up. The tank as well. And unfortunately, landing the third is one thing. Saturating it is another entirely. Another entirely. GG. GG gets called, and with that, SHIN, he will claim the series 3-1. He will be this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. SHIN, he will claim the series. Again, herO did have a very quirky build here. Unfortunately, when it came to his 2-on-1 timing, like the opener was fine. The opener was fine. He killed the Overlord. He was able to get a nice start to the game. Was able to have a nice start, but the follow-up was lacking. It was really unfortunate, but herO, he wasn't really able to apply any pressure to the third base. In the end, SHIN bought a lot of time to get into his muta play. Ideally, herO is able to rotate to the third base, force Lings to engage, and then start trading with the Lings, and then ideally force more Lings and force more out of your opponent. But we saw that herO wasn't able to threaten anything with his 2-on-1. SHIN was able to get away with his mutas, gain map control, and then bust from there. And the bus was that much stronger because the first tank got caught in the center of the map. There's a world where if herO had been a little bit more conservative with his tanks, then maybe SHIN opts not to Bane bust, and then we just saturate from there and we build up into the mid game. But in the end, SHIN, he smelled weakness, busted into the natural, crippled the economy, and then herO was forced into an all-in. Technically, herO had a third CC, so again, I did miss that, but he was still all-in, like he still had to do damage and got cleaned up across the map. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, SHIN, he will claim the series. Shout out to herO. herO, he didn't make a series out of it. He was able to whip out his Zerg, and hey, he was able to excel with it, so let's go. The one game that herO won against SHIN. As we mentioned before, like, we're expecting a patch post BlizzCon. Those are our expectations. We spoke about this during the podcast. But BlizzCon is mid-September. Do not expect any kind of balance update before that, just because you have players like Idra and MC and the RSL boys as well, the RSL finals, like, they're all preparing for BlizzCon. The idea of throwing a patch out before BlizzCon doesn't really make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense to the competitors either. It would be a little bit unfair to them. So don't expect anything before that. Post BlizzCon though, that's kind of when our expectations are. So expect like October-ish, late September, early October is kind of where our expectations are. But you know, until then, you know, we're still going to be hosting our tournaments on a regular basis as always. The Tuna Cup, the Duckling Open, the Swan Open as well. We'll still be hosting our tournaments. We are deciding to cut back a little bit on our coverage of events. We spoke about this already a couple of times. I guess we can reiterate, but we are choosing to cut back on coverage just because of, again, the current meta. It's not as appealing to me, at least. It's not as engaging. So Because of that, we're going to be cutting back on the WarTCB Mondays, on Kung Fu Cups, and on Pegasus Cup. Those are the three. Those are the three events we're going to be cutting back on. We're still going to be covering our tournaments and GSTL. GSTL, you know, we're still going to be casting because we're the main casters for that. So we'll still be all over that. But otherwise, expect some less coverage from the CranKy Ducklings. Just as a heads up. As you can see here, when it comes to this week's broadcast coverage, we do have GSTL. That's going to be on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be GSTL. This is actually last week's schedule, so actually I can just let you know. Tomorrow we have no cast tomorrow, so Monday will be empty for us. I might go live on my personal channel doing other things. Tuesday is going to be GSTL. Wednesday most likely empty for us. Thursday will be more GSTL and the Pondcast. Friday is going to be the Patch Clash. We're going to be dipping into that, and the ISSL. And then, of course, over the weekend we have more GSTL. GSTL all over the week. Again, this is last week's schedule, but you know, there's some things that are similar here. Some things. Just more GSTL broadcasts this upcoming week, alongside Patch Clash and the ISSL. But again, as we mentioned, won't be covering the WarTCB Monday, Kung Fu Cup, or Pegasus Cup. Cutting back. Again, at least until post BlizzCon, just to avoid burnouts. So Son is the MVP. True. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be wrapping up here for the time being. Again, our next broadcast, I think tomorrow I should be live playing Brood War. For those that are unaware, I did start playing StarCraft Remastered for the first time on my personal stream. I say for the first time. I played plenty of StarCraft 1 and Brood War as a kid growing up, but I'd never played the remastered version, like the remastered version of the game. Never got around to it. Just had no time because we were non-stop casting. But because we're cutting back on casting tournaments, we have more free time to do other things. So playing through the remastered campaign most likely tomorrow and throughout the course of the week. So if you're interested, you can tune into that. Otherwise, when it comes to our next cast on the CranKy Ducklings, it should be GSTL. That'll be on Tuesday. The Global StarCraft 2 League will be there. We will be there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time for some more StarCraft. Also, if you want to help support the Sparkling Tuna Cup, you can do so via the Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon does fund this very tournament on a weekly basis, and our other monthly tournaments as well. But all of our tournaments are all funded via the Patreon. And again, you know, regardless of what's happening with StarCraft at the moment, we are still going to be running our events on a regular basis every single week. Tuna Cup, we got you on a weekly basis, so you can support us there if you wish. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time for some more StarCraft. See you on Tuesday for GSTL. See you then. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego.